The wall is high, the black barn, the baby in my arms in her swaddling clothes, and under the sun that the sky will split and the planets will shift, bows of jade will drop and existence will stop. Little sister, the sky is falling. I don't mind, I don't mind. Little sister, the fates are calling on you. I can't stand again this electric whirlwind, the surges of my knees like flame, and I feel like just some misplaced Joan of Arc in the cars as you looking up at me. Oh baby, I remember when you were born. It was dawn and the storm settled in my belly, in the road, in the grass, in the spit at the gas, in the lit a match in the void when flash in the sky split and the planets hit. Bows of jade dropped and existence stopped. Stop, stop, stop. Little sister, the sky is falling. I don't mind, I don't mind. Little sister, the fates are calling on you. I was young and crazy, so crazy I knew I could break through with you. So with one hand I rocked you, and with one heart I reached for you. I knew your youth was for the taking, fire on the mental plane, so I ran through the fields as the bats with their baby vein faces burst from the barn in flames in a violet, violent sky. And I fell on my knees and pressed you against me. Your skull was like a network of spittle, like glass balls moving in like cold streams of logic. And I prayed as that lightning attacked that some will make it go crack. 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 The palm trees fall into the sea. It doesn't matter much to me as long as you're safe, Kimberly. And I can gaze deep into your starry eyes, baby. Little deep in your eyes, baby. Little deep in your eyes, baby. Little deep in
How do I
your
turn on
eyes,
raids? What's up, everybody? We're almost there.
starry eyes,
I only come out. You guys know what I come out to. Bunch of yelling, bunch of hooting, a bunch of hollering. How do we turn on raids? Des, reach out to Hamilton, make him a manager on the channel. He knows how to do it. Or go in, Des, and allow raids here. Was that too much? Let's get into it, but I'm not coming out yet, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. I'm excited. People are all crazy right now. People are crazy right now. Come on. I'm fucking pounding my chest so hard. I'm pounding my chest so hard. Bye, everybody. I need a cowbell. How do I sound? Hi, everybody. How do I look? Most importantly, how do I look? Don't worry about the sound, but how do I look? Super fucking cool. Hello, everybody. It's a big show. No one said this was a little show. Nobody said that. Nobody said this was gonna be a little one. Hi, everybody. Nobody's wearing eyeshadow. I'm that pretty, by the way. Someone in chat goes, he's wearing eyeshadow. No, I'm not. I'm that gorgeous. Racist Anons reporting for duty. BPD women, are we here? Come on, guys. That's beautiful. Hi, everybody. Salvo Pancakes. You're watching 1-800-BEEF. I'm excited for this show tonight. We did one a couple nights ago. I go, how are we even going to be able to top it? I go, how are we even going to be able to top it? Right? Well, if you do things the right way and you have an all-discerning eye and open ears, you can really just allow everything to fall right into your lap, and all you can do, you know, everything's going to fall into your lap, and then what do you do at that point? You pet it. You kiss it. You know what I mean? It's there for you. All you got to do is put your hand into it and make it into something special. And that is what I'm doing here tonight. It's a huge, huge show. Nikandros, by the way. Nobody's booking these type of guests these days. Shout out to Himpleton. I go, Himpleton, I would love Nikandros. He goes, I got it, boss. I go, I would love Jay Stock. He goes, I got it, boss. I would love Kuman. I got it, boss. So shout out Himpleton. But we have Nikandros coming on here around 1 a.m. I thought it was around midnight. Oof. 1 a.m. I'm going to be stretching it till 1 a.m. over here. My Lord. Nerd City, good friend of the program, Nerd City, is also coming on. We're going to play a little game about the Mutahar drama. And I actually think it's a pretty insightful game. It's a game based on judging Mutahar's dramas and putting monetary quantifications on it to determine just how juicy this piece of beef is. So we're playing that with Nerd City around 12 midnight, maybe midnight. I'll message him. Maybe we can bump him up to midnight. So that's beautiful. But before we get into our groundbreaking guests, I will stand on that. Guests. Or guys. Or I could turn on Willie Mac's video and sit here and we could watch it along. That's what I think about that. That's what I think about that idea. I did some that. But before we get into our guests, we're actually doing boots on the ground in Israel, right? We are doing boots on the ground in Tel Aviv. Willie Mac made a video about 1 hour ago. Thank you for that, by the way, Willie Mac. In his video, he's talking about his wedding. He's talking about his bride, quote unquote, his bride. That's how he refers to his Jewish short-haired wife, as his bride. Kuman, he mentions Kuman. It's like, interesting. Who was just on the show a couple of nights ago. He mentions Augie RFC, but he mentions me. He mentions me, Willie Mac. There is a salvo mention, and I want to go I want to go even further. It's beyond a salvo mention. It is a strategic salvo placement to try to destroy Augie RFC. Did you hear this? Willie Mac's getting confident. Willie Mac is getting confident. I think it's a lot of false confidence. But it's interesting. Kind of like Ethan Klein. We've seen Ethan Klein this year really get aggressive. really get like hyper fixated on destroying his enemies by all cost. And it might be cheap, it might be low-hanging fruit, but I really do think a lot of that is correlated to the genocide happening in Palestine by the Israelis. And I'm sure the people are going, Salvo, that's crazy to think that the Jewish podcast host that lives in Beverly Hills is emotionally tied to Israel so much that his actions come out at home and at work. Now, when I put it like that, is it so crazy to believe that Ethan Klein and now Willie Mack are kind of getting like this super sort of energy based on the war happening in Gaza? Willie Mack is not Jewish, but worse, his wife has short hair. Obviously, is the worst one, is his wife has short hair, right? It doesn't get worse than that. But his wife is an IDF soldier. He married an IDF soldier. And again, I do think, this is my personal take, I do think that is a character mark to marry and be capable of loving an IDF soldier. I do think that's a character mark, and I do think it's relevant to these dramas on YouTube. I really do. I really, really, really do. So we're going to be talking about Willie Mack. We have a bunch of time codes from Willie Mack's video I mentioned, which was a shock to me. I'm brushing my teeth after my hour shower, brushing my teeth. Willie Mack's video is playing on my beautiful iPhone Max 16 Plus. Top of the line. That's the thing. I'm only doing top of the line things now. Or I'm not doing it. So I'm only eating top, like the most expensive things on every menu, the most expensive drinks, most expensive clothes. I go in the store and I have to check every tag. It takes forever. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is $300. But then I'm like, oh, this is only top of the line, iPhone Max 16 Plus. We're going to kick it off to the West Bank with Ethan Klein. Another, he got caught. He had a slip up. He had a boo-boo. He said the N-word. We're going to go over that clip. I actually think that N-word was strategic by Ethan. I think it was a strategic N-word. And we'll get into that clip. And also the Gila. People aren't talking about this because there's so much news. People aren't talking about this. Gila Klein has confirmed brain damage. She does. And Ethan. Gila on their show admitted that they have lesions in their brain. What the fuck? Which I think is an explanation for all of their horrific behaviors, right? You have lesions on the brain. Like, after people die, right, and they run a CAT scan on their brain, they go, ooh, wow, he had a lot of frontex lobal damage. That's probably why he shot up a grocery store. I think it's safe to say that Gila Klein and Ethan Klein having admitted brain damage, it might be a valuable, reasonable excuse or explanation for how retarded they've been. But I want to bring in my producer, Himpleton. Himpleton, thanks for coming back. I knew you'd be back. You had a little camping trip over the weekend. How'd that go, buddy?
It went great. It was very beautiful. No complaints.
Where did you go?
I went a little bit outside of Golden, Colorado.
Golden, Colorado. What did you do? You camped for like a night, right?
Yeah, just a night. Just sat around the fire telling some spooky ghost stories, Just had a fun time.
Who did you go with?
Couple of work friends.
You didn't want to shoot me the invite?
I just thought with your busy schedule, I didn't want to insult you by bringing you down to the plebes. You know what I mean?
Well, I do appreciate that because I might have felt obligated that I had to make the cross-country trip to come see you,
exactly.
Or else I would have been a bad superior. So, But Himpleton and I actually missed each other in the city of Boulder, Colorado. You live in, well, do people know that? I'm sorry if I just
Yes, that's public. Okay. That's public.
You know, I know in this day and age, doxing's a very serious thing. Nobody's been doxed more than me, by the way, on the internet. Nobody's been doxed more than me on the internet. It's just facts. Everybody knows that. But Hippleton lives in Boulder, and we missed each other by, like, it seems like a couple weeks in Boulder. We could have been neighbors and eating lunch together daily, but I got kicked out of the state. So, you know, I'm glad that you're in it. Glad that it's good.
Yeah, I mean, Boulder misses you, Salvo. That's the truth.
Dude, no, it doesn't. Trust me when I tell you, Boulder, Colorado absolutely does not miss me, and they were so fucking happy that I left. Let me tell you. The judicial courts in Boulder were happy that I left. The police department was happy that I left. They're a bunch of fucking... They're like... Wow, I have to make sure that I'm off probation in Boulder. But I'm pretty sure I am. I'm pretty sure I'm off probation in Boulder now, so I can talk about it. But it's they are like when your whole police department is seated in a 50-year mystery of a murdered rape little girl that is a cold case and it's the most infamous one ever. You shouldn't have a police department. And there's actually no reason for Boulder to have a police department. The biggest risk you have is letting those fucking tent people congregate so much by the river. I'm so sorry. Hippleton.
Yep, it's true. It's true.
You can't let them congregate by the river. It's like Boulder is beautiful. And, you know, they have that park with the river flowing through it. I hope you take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely.
But the fucking tent people over there are so encouraged to just be bummy.
It's true.
And it is an eyesore. It is an eyesore. But that's the biggest like worry that the Boulder Police Department have, because the rest of it is like really rich older white people, and then it's college students, like the hottest college students. I don't know. Maybe we should do a tour next summer, Hippleton. We're doing a tour of the United States college campuses, and we're going to determine which is the hottest one, because Boulder, Colorado, you ever go up on campus and walk around and
absolutely
get into trouble up there?
I don't know about trouble, but I definitely get up there for sure.
You definitely get up there too. Yeah. Hot. Hot people. Boulder, Colorado, I'll give it that, is absolutely full of hot people. Other than other than the city being hot, and like hot people and optically beautiful, it almost sucks in every other way. It's like, what do you do? Well, here's the thing. What do you do past like 9 o'clock there, Hippleton? You're on Discord with Leia something watching movies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of decent spots. The problem is that Pearl Street, as you know, is just extremely overpriced, right? But you go over to places like Dark Horse, you go over to that place where they have pool. I can't remember the name of it. They have like free pool down there. Pretty decent. There's a couple of decent spots, but you're right. The pickings are slim for sure.
Dude, Pearl Street. I never went to Pearl Street because it's 21 and over on Pearl Street. They don't have any freshman bars.
What?
Yeah, I was never on Pearl Street. I was up at the college campuses party because they had freshman bars.
Okay. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I'm not gonna go to the if I have an option. I'm sorry, but if I had an option of going to a freshman bar or a 21 and plus adult bar, I'm going to the freshman bar.
Why?
Why? Because they think I'm their age almost. Right here's the funny part. I look younger than I am. I will be 31 in 21 days. I'll be 31. But when I lived in Boulder, the college kids thought I was 24, 25, 23. And I'm at a fucking freshman bar. They think I'm 23, 22 years old. They don't know that I have like literally a decade of more manipulative experience on them.
Oh God!
So I can really sort of work my magic in many different ways. They have no idea that I have years of torturing women in that way. I'm obviously kidding.
Of course.
I'm obviously kidding. I'm obviously telling only jokes. Only jokes. Cheers. Cheers, Simpleton. I'm having a sugar-free Red Bull. But
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. So let's get into it. Anything you want to say, Himpy?
You mentioned this earlier, and I'm sure you're gonna circle back around to it, but I just thought it was so funny that Willie Mack is gonna go after you and, say that you're the reason Augie wasn't streaming for a year and act like Augie's so scared of you. But then he's just going to call you some guy as if he wasn't in a bathtub with you. Like, that's just cold.
Well,
it's very cold.
It is cold, but I think we have to count our blessings here. I think we have to count our blessings that I got mentioned.
That's
these
true.
these people go out of their way to not say my name. But that's the thing, Hippleton. He said my name intentionally to hurt Augie.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? We'll get into it. Like
Yeah.
We'll look at the codes and shit. But he brought up my name when talking about Augie as a little knife in Augie's little tiny boy ribs, right? To just fucking get in there and poke around to piss him off. That's why I think he actually said my name. But he did say it in like such a casual way. It's like, we texted on iMessage. Isn't it so funny that like my determination of how close I am to someone online is, dude, we texted on iMessage. How could you treat me like that? You know what I'm saying, Hippleton?
It's true. It's true.
Thank you, Himpleton. I appreciate it. It is funny. But let's get into it here. So, fresh off the press, just a couple hours ago, Willie Mack, which it's so funny that like Willie Mack is like being like, my whole information got doxed, my name. It's like, your name is Willie Mack. Your name is going to be something William Mick, something Irish. You know what I mean? It's like, that's also a point that I think needs to be made. It's like, you got to take it easy on being like, look, he showed my name everywhere. It's like, your name online is Willie Mack. It's something William McIrish. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing crazy. But fresh off the press, Willie Mack makes a video. Now, this Willie Mack guy, I went hard on him. Oh, well, I did. I went hard on him and his bride. And the last one, I did. I went hard on him and his bride, which I do regret, obviously. I regret it. I shouldn't have said the things I said about him and his bride. I shouldn't have said it, right? They were brutal. But we should have known that a video was coming out by William Mack based on his tweets last night. So let me pull this up. Let me get this all started here. I need to... Where the fuck... okay, one second. Window capture. I need to capture my Twitter. No, not that. Here we go. Okay. 1 second. So here is Willie Mack's tweet from last night, and it kind of shocked me, and it kind of grossed me out a little bit. It did kind of gross me out a little bit. Here's the thing. It's like my biggest lib thing is the Palestinian, like I you know what I mean? It's like, you can't be talking like that. So Willie Mack is trying to own now that his wife is in the IDF, right? This is his new strategy. He's a married man. This is his bride. He's going to defend her no matter what. This is him inserting himself into something that doesn't really necessarily have to do with him, right? He's quote tweeting Anna Kasparian, which is a co-host on the Young Turks, which is owned by the older fat Turkish guy Senk, which is Hassan Piker's Willie Mack's arch nemesis' uncle, right? Do you see how like everything with Willie Mack is connected, and like everything with these like Israeli commenters, like Willie Mack's an Israeli commenter, Ethan Klein is literally an Israeli commenter. It's like everything with these Israeli commenters has to circle back to their personal sort of emotional tie and insistence on talking and defending the Jew. So he tweets Anna Kasparian. I don't even want to read her tweet. It's not really that relevant. She's talking about how I'll read it. Sure. Am I too good to read? Am I too good to no? She tweets, our country's occupied and controlled by the Israelis. Now, this is the People's Show. And I do want to gauge my chat's take on this, right? Because I don't think she's saying anything that, like, is not true. Does Willie Mack think that the United States is not occupied by and controlled by the Jews? Is that something Willie Mack does not believe? You know? Don't we all believe that and think that and know that? Like, is there someone in my chat right now who wants to say that the United States isn't occupied and controlled by the Jews? Who doesn't think that? That's so weird. I thought that was common knowledge. This is our fight. They're using our money and our bombs to slaughter innocent people and steal land. I think that's all true as well. Like, who doubts that? I'm not sitting here making so many videos on it, but I can say that's true. I think that's true. And then our media tells us the Muslim world hates us for our freedom, and people believe that slop as they lose public services because their resources are being sent abroad. The jig is up. You either love America or the country occupying it. It's like, I'm pro-America. I love America. Like, if I'm anything, I'm probably maybe an American nationalist. Sure! An American nationalist, not a white nationalist. An American nationalist, I think that's the most, like, normal you could be. I hope everyone is a nationalist for their country. Right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with what she said. What does Willie have to say? Willie quote tweets her, inserts himself into this, and goes, this is why I married a Jew. The cabal is pretty slick, really enjoying controlling everything. Now, I don't mean to lib out here, but I do think it's kind of tone deaf. I do think it's kind of tone deaf. And when something is tone deaf, that means their awareness, their perception is negative. And that's a character flaw, and that's a character judgment. I hope someone needs to be live clipping, right? Tangent, almost every word that I say is important. Someone live clip this. It needs to be posted to every Reddit as possible. You know, it's very easy to infiltrate. Anyways, this is why I married a Jew. The cabal is pretty slick, really enjoying controlling everything. I think it is pretty tone deaf to throw yourself on the side of the Jew in this day and age. I don't mean to be too Zoran Mimbango from New York State. I'm not Zoran Mimbango. But I think it is pretty a disgusting look to be like, yeah, this is why I married an IDF soldier. Because we get all the perks when we do all the bad stuff. You know what I mean? So we should have fucking known that something was coming down the line of Willie when he's like, yeah, I'm actually a Jew. And it's like, also, you know, Willie's bride, his bride, as he says, his bride, her family's probably pissed at him for not converting. Don't you think? Don't you think? I don't know. Okay. It's like you for Willie to be like all of a sudden so confident and like so willing to like lean into his IDF soldier wife after keeping it a secret, after like denying it almost, and now for him to be like, yeah, my bride, my IDF short-haired soldier. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, now you're willing to stand on ground and speak about it. But nothing before? Until your bride got doxxed? Maybe it's a good thing. Obviously, we don't condone doxing. This is something you actually have to say on writing. And I'm going to write it on here because it's in writing. I do not condone doxing. I do not. This is important because the internet really takes this seriously. So I'm taking it seriously too. I'm putting it in writing and I'm going to sign it and date. I do not condone doxing. I do not condone. I think that's good. Boom, and the date is 8/10/25. So if anybody ever says that I condone doxing, show them this image. Cool. I do not condone it. However, maybe it was a good come to Abraham moment for Willie. His short-haired bride gets doxxed, and now he's able to freely stand up for her and support her religious beliefs. And I'll say it once, marrying an Israeli IDF soldier is a mark of a bad character. It is. So let's pull up Willie's video. I hope everybody's having fun. Hope everybody's having fun here. You guys chose the right stream. I'm sure everybody's streaming tonight. Sure, everybody jumped to their keyboard, jumped behind their Shure 7Ms, 75Bs, and are getting their takes off. So I'm glad you guys chose this one to hang out in, right? So Willie made a video, and let's take a look. Let me get this right here. Everything is so out of whack. Boom, boom. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so here is Willie Mac's video that he just released tonight. He really got busy after his wedding. And so the synopsis of this video, right? It's called as always, it's based around Hassan Piker, even though Hassan Piker is not really a part of this video at all. But he needs to be mentioned because that's who these guys are, right? Hassan and his criminal friend doxed and tried to ruin my wedding. I think Willie might have a kink. And this is something that I'm thinking about for the first time right now. So Willie and I had a falling out because he thought I was trying to dox his girlfriend, his bride now at the time. And he based that off of two people that worked for me for free on my news team. They worked for me for free. They were grunts. Right? On my news team, in their own private messages, we're talking about looking into Willie's wife. And it was not privy to my eyes at all until Willie confronted me about it on a stream. And I'm like, bro, I'm not a part of that conversation. You know how Discord messaging works. You know that the theme of how it literally optically looks is not a group message. This is a one-to-one message. I'm not involved in that. I didn't know about it. But I think Willie is like super hyper fixated on his wife being doxxed, right? He's made a video on it. He's been spastic about it in the past. And I think he might have a kink. I think he might have like secretly like a hot wife kink. Like look at my wife. And it's like when he gets like he gets so squirrely around like when anyone he didn't know was trying to look into his wife, he gets very, very squirrely about it. And it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even like know that about himself. Maybe I'm telling him something new. But anywho, so the synopsis of this video is essentially he is saying Bad Empanada, who, by the way, do we know how Bad Empanada looks, right? Let me pull up a picture of this guy. Empanada. One, his name sucks. So I'm instantly out on this guy. But this is Bad Empanada. He is pretty nasty looking. He's pretty nasty looking. We'll get into it here in the video. This is him right here, right? So this is how Bad Empanada looks. This is Bad Empanada. This is the character in Willie's video that Willie has a problem with. And my problem with Bad Empanada is that he looks dirty and he looks unkept and his skin is bad and his beard is weak and his hair is weak and everything about him as a person, my being is rejecting him completely. So Willie's like, Bad Empanada doxed my wife and wedding venue. And then he blames friend of the show, Kuman, right? It's so interesting. Kuman's involved in this. I'm involved in this. Augie's involved in this. Kuman was on the show last week. Willie makes a video today blaming Kuman. This is real. Blaming Kuman for his wife being doxxed. Essentially, he's saying, Kuman and his group doxxed my wife, found all this information. Empanada then made a public video on it. I don't know. I don't know too much about that. I don't know Kuman's group, right? Group of British gangsters. I'll tell you one thing. Kuman's group is a group I want no part of. Kuman's group, hand up. Kuman's group, I am no match for you guys, man. I am no match for you guys. And I just hope to build lovely relationships with Kuman and his group now into the future forever. That's what I'm worried about. I just want to make good relations with him because I don't want any part of these British gangsters, these young Brits with a lot of time on their hand, and they're very wise. Right. So Kuman's mentioned, I'm mentioned, and Augie RFC is mentioned. And again, just like Ethan Klein has had Hamas derangement syndrome, and anyone who Ethan perceives to be against him and Israel, it's like Ethan is loaded up on so many pills. Like, it's not talked about enough, but you watch the H3 podcast, Ethan Klein is on pills. That's not his Tourette's anymore. He's barely twitching anymore. Like, he twitches, but it's his brain is so slop. Well, he does have permanent brain damage. But just like how Ethan has had like Hamas derangement syndrome all year, hyper aggressive, fuzzily focused, like a fucking Ethan's like going at everyone like a fucking like homeless guy that found a broken bottle on the ground and he's just drunk and he's stabbing everyone, and you just go, just go like this, like, hey, stop that, stop it. It's like that's Ethan's like crazy aggressive mentality. Is like a homeless guy that found a piece of glass and the homeless guy's on pills, he's drinking, you know what I mean, and he's also just verbally yelling. That is Ethan's demeanor pretty much every fucking stream. It's crazy. Like a fucking dog waiting for food, just like waiting for a reason to pounce on that bowl of kibble, just waiting, right? Like a fucking retarded dog. You know what I mean? Like a literal IDF soldier waiting for the command to shoot a bunch of fucking kids, waiting for their porridge. That is what it's like. That is what it's like. Like, when I see Ethan and now Willie become aggressive over the Israeli-Gaza war, it is like, what is happening there? What is happening there? He marries an IDF soldier for 1 month, and now he's calling out Augie RFC. Now, if you don't know the commentary community too much, Augie RFC is like a legacy guy, right? He's like a legacy character here. I would argue that without Augie RFC, Willie Mack probably doesn't even have a career. How about that take? You like to hear that, Willie? Do you like that one? Without Augie RFC, I think Willie Mack doesn't even have a career. That's what I genuinely believe. I genuinely believe that. So here we go. Let's fucking pull this up. Let's go to 5 minutes and 33 seconds. 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Well, let's play it from the beginning so we can get a feel.
He complains that I call loaner bot.
Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did CPS, the CPS logo with the 2 skulls, of course. 2 skulls. Not a reference to anything in particular.
He knowingly defames people. In my last video, I pointed out that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it. His response is to give the most forced laugh I've ever heard.
Yeah, this guy's gross, right? Like, I hate Bad Empanada just off how he looks. And that's safe. And I think that's the most bravest thing anybody could say, right? Is I hate you just based off the fucking vibe you're giving my soul. Just based off the vibe you're making my soul feel weird. I don't like you. This guy's unlikable.
And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains.
Like, if we are talking about, like, the scopes of this, like, sort of Gazanian war, an Israeli war, Bad Empanada would play the car bomber. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, just based off how he looks, how he's choosing to dress, where he's choosing to set up his stream, Bad Empanada in this world of the YouTube drama simulation of the Gaza war, Bad Empanada plays the car bomber. Because he might make a lot of noise. He might dox a lot of people. He might make a lot of noise blowing up his car in front of a cafe. But ultimately, it's like you killed yourself in your car. You killed a couple people. You might have not even killed a couple people. You just might have, like, caused a bunch of shrapnel to go into, like, someone's back. And you might have caused the cafe to shut down for a month. But you're dead and you're burning in your car on fire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's every vibe that Bad Empanada is giving.
Things that I call loaner box. That I said that loaner box's dad.
I don't care about Loader Box. I don't know who that is. Also, Willie Mack needs to step away from covering Hassan Piker. That's my advice to Willie Mack. And if his short-haired wife loves him, she would tell him that. So let's go ahead to 5 minutes and 33 seconds here. Willie Mack. Remember when I said Willie Mack got married and got a bunch of confidence, right? He got married. He got a bunch of confidence, and he starts to talk like this. It's like, I love when a guy sees an opening to publicly defend his wife. I love that. I love when a guy is finds himself in a situation where he's like, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Listen to how Willie is telling us how he's talking to his wife.
Little girls on Twitter. My wife did serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation. He's just being racist. But the word...
Okay, so if Willie Mack's IDF wife came over here at 3 years old, you're an American, baby. Or not. No. That doesn't mean anything. Like, now that I think of it, why is it... No. This is... Someone clip this. Post it on Twitter so I can retweet it. This is actually a big deal. Willie Mack uses his Israeli wife coming to the United States at 3 years old as a reason to why she is not part of the IDF, might not have so much ties to Israel. Do you know what kind of Israelis leave Israel to come to America? She's 3 years old, right? So this is not a move by her. This is a move by her parents. So now, Willie Mack's wife's parents left Israel. I'm assuming probably around the late 90s, early 2000s. You see my cardboards? Early 2000 buildings, early 2000s. Willie Mack's wife's parents left Israel in the early 2000s to come to America. They're spies. Right? Right? So Willie Mack's wife's parents are Israeli citizens and they came over to the United States? So what you're saying is that your wife might not be in the IDF, but her parents are in the Mossad? Like, what other reasoning would Israelites, we was kangs and quans, leave Israel to emigrate to the United States other than, well, they're on operation now? Like, I'm looking at chat. Am I misreading that? Himpleton. Am I connecting invisible dots here? Himpleton. He's not. Okay, so he's listening on delay, which is fine. But you shouldn't be. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. So that whole thing of my wife came over when she's 3. It's like, that just made my ears perk up. But please, Willie, continue to speak.
First thing he did was post the date and address of her wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it. But nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William.
Well, I'm just watching Willie's video. I would love to critique the not, right? Their the not page. Every wife who has gotten married in the last 10 years and who will get married for the next 4, I think, will do the not. It's an easy way to send out wedding invitations and to make sure everybody knows the information, especially when you have a destination wedding. So Willie Mack's bride's name is Yale, by the way, which I thought people were being anti-Semitic when they were calling her that online, but I guess that is her name. I'm looking up the meaning. Mountain goat. So I'm not even kidding. So Willie Mack's wife's name means mountain goat in Israel. And, well, that checks out. So Yale and Willie married July 26, 2025 in Illinois. Winnetka, Illinois. Okay, so let's check out their venue just because that's what I do. I love it. I love to gossip. I love to judge. I love to judge couples' choices. I love to judge couples' decisions and what they think are nice. So let's look that up. Himpleton, can you hear me? I would love
Yes.
your take. I would love your take on if you think what I'm saying is so far out of left field.
Well, I had to clip what you were saying because I thought it was so important. Like, nobody's talking about this, and I think people need to be thinking about this, truly. I mean, I think that if we just use Occam's razor, why would they have come around this time? Why would... It's just such an easy deflection that Willie can make, but he's not addressing the bigger picture, right?
Because he thinks it clears his Israeli wife coming over when they're 3. It's like, I'm so sorry, but especially that generation, our parents' generation only moved countries when they were in the military. It's like you ever heard of like anyone who's had parents in the military, like their dad was in the military, they moved all over the place. Like that was the only time where that generation moved out of the country. Like we're seeing it more and more and more now. But 30 years ago, that was the only reason why, like, America / Israeli, right? It's the same thing, essentially, would move to another country. Like, I think that's
well, and the timing,
so important.
the timing cannot be ignored. You know?
It can't be ignored.
The timing cannot be
It
ignored.
absolutely cannot be ignored. Nobody's connected that. I need credit on this, and this needs a blow. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's actually bothering me. It's been great to be back in all this stuff, but when I left streaming online, in that 2-year span, a whole bunch of clip accounts on Twitter got popular for clipping Ethan Klein and Hassan Piker and Destiny. Well, now they're leaking down and they're clipping Willie Mack and Diorio and all that stuff, and it's like, and they're big. It's not like Hujin posting a clip, right? Like these are like Yeet and the other ones, right? Like they post clips of like Diorio and Willie Mack. I'm like, what the fuck? That has so many. If my take on this can reach them, that's important. But I'm not. They don't know what's good yet. They think I'm. I mean, there was a girl online who called me small commentary. I'm like, no, I'm personally not. So here is I'm looking up their marriage venue. So you think that's pretty spot on, Himpleton? Like you think that's?
I think it absolutely is.
So even if it's not her parent, like even if she's not in the IDF, her fucking parents are for sure. Like no doubt. So here is. Well, I don't know their venue. I guess we'll just skip that. I don't know specific. I don't want to have a false judgment of something that's wrong. So
he does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site because we did take it down to try and hide it, but nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale.
Yeah. Do you know who else's wedding page got doxxed? Mine got doxxed by Paige Christie. Paige Christie doxxed my wedding page. So I'm not sitting on, and it's like, what do you want done, Willie? This guy to be banned from the internet? Sure, maybe a bad empanada's punishment for doxing should be you can't have a camera on you. Sure. But like you want this guy banned from online? Like I genuinely think Willie needs to answer for if that's true. It's like you want this guy banned from online actually for this? It's like he makes that case kind of, right? Like he'll ask, why is this still online? It's like, oh, so you want him banned? I'm genuinely curious. Willie, do you want this guy banned from the fucking Google, YouTube economy, which is evil, by the way? If you're online, and that's why I got so fucking butthurt when I got deplatformed. If you're behind a mic and your online enemies get you banned from Google and YouTube for whatever reason, they are committing an act of like a soul attack in a way. It's like, you want me banned from Google and YouTube, huh? For saying things you don't like, you want to like where would this guy go? For what? For doxing your fucking cheap ass fucking wedding invitation in your fucking stupid hair? Let me see you, Willie. Let me see you. You've pissed me off now. Let me see it. How did he look for his wedding invitation? Show me.
My crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast.
Wait a minute, what?
Talking trash to Ethan. It had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name. At the end of the day, my crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast. He's not.
Yeah, I would actually argue your crime, it's actually a bad look to marry a Jew right now. Like, is that horrible for me to say? Willie? I actually think I actually think you should be in trouble for that. For marrying a Mossad family member. Like, yeah, I actually do. I actually do think, like, you shouldn't talk for a little bit. What does that make me? Like a fucking crazy liberal like Hassan Piker? Huh? No, I don't think so. Yeah. If your wife has ties to the IDF, you should be in big trouble for that. Am I crazy? Genuinely. It's like, and just know, Willie Mack wears a kippah, bro. When Willie Mack is around his wife's family, he wears a kippah. He does. Like, that's proto, by the way. So whenever you see Willie Mack talking, he's in a kippah at times in his life.
She was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're
So, yeah, he wears a kippah. The Irish man wears a kippah. That is like, it's like, yeah, Hempleton.
I was just going to say, Salvo, when are we going to get the clip of Willie kissing the wall? Because it's coming.
It's got to be coming. I mean, like, he's bragging about being in the cabal. He might be doing it jokingly, but they're always doing it under our nose, ironically, right? Like, it's they always joke about being in the cabal. He's going to be kissing the wall. He's going to be where do you think their honeymoon is? Let's take a guess. Where do you think Willie and his daughter of Mossad take their honeymoon? I guarantee it's Israel. I guarantee
beautiful Israel, of course.
I guarantee it's Israel. Like, why wouldn't it be Israel? It's probably free. It's beautiful, right? Like, cap. Israel is not beautiful. Every fucking picture I ever see of Israel, it's like they're in a fucking strip mall in fucking Phoenix, Arizona. And Arizona, I think, is a bottom of the barrel state. It's like you can get on a ladder and see the whole fucking. It's horrible. Is that Phoenix, Arizona? Phoenix, Arizona is horrible, horrible. Everything I've ever seen of Israel looks like nothing about it ever looks attractive or beautiful. I guarantee they take their fucking honeymoon in Israel, which is crazy. Imagine if they do. It's like they'll do some like fucking hillbilly shit and like go to fucking Alabama shores. Right, but imagine if they go to Israel.
I mean, I don't doubt that they will. Salvo, if I can do one thing real quick, I do want to go ahead and say that we do have a Twitter community, and I just posted the clip of Salvo talking about how Willie Mack's wife's parents are probably spies. I posted it on there. Everybody should go join it. I put it in the chat so you can join it, and then you can post clips of Salvo and stuff that you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
So
good.
Join that.
Join it and share here. Cool. Good. Awesome. Good. So Willie Mack brings up Kuman, and I'm gonna play this. I don't know if there's any truth to what Willie is saying, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and blindly defend Kuman, even though I want to. Just so everybody knows, I'm trying to be so good this time around. I want to just blindly defend Kuman, but I don't know. So here is Shamu, who posted, Willie Mack's new video tries to blame Kuman for posts made on Kuya Farms. Okay, so and this is kind of big accusations, and let's hear what he has to say.
This Bad Empanada did not originate my docs. He maliciously spread it.
So he says Bad Empanada, who's the dirty car bomber, did not maliciously spread his docs.
This Bad Empanada did not originate my docs. He maliciously spread it everywhere, but my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged.
Look at our guy. Look at this guy. This is like me. This is how I would look if I wasn't so fat when I was his age. I would look like this. But when I was his age, I was so fat. I got fat like a doctor raped me with pills and got me fat. Like, it was I was a fat guy for 2 years. But before that I was skinny. After that I was skinny, but a doctor had his way with me, got me fat. Anyways,
viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me.
Okay, so let's see what Willie thinks is a dog whistle. He's saying that Kuman...
But my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me.
Okay, so he thinks that Kuman's fans posted on the information, and it's like, wow. Everything that Kuman is like being accused of, it's like, I believe Kuman. Just based on Kuman's response, I saw Kuman's response when he was watching Willie's video, and Willie kind of accused that. Cumin was kind of shocked, and I'm like, yeah, that's the reaction I had too when I was being accused of like spreading a lot of things behind the scenes from these guys. It's flabbergasting. It's flabbergasting. So there's Cumin, which he's a cool guy, but here is like the meat and potatoes of this video, and I think it could be Willie's coffin here. Because my take at the beginning
this isn't outsourcing, it's out.
I have ads. I have ads, and there's a lot of them. So I think this could be Willie's final nail in his coffin, because Willie's not some institution on YouTube, right? Willie's not a Nerd City. Willie's not a Turkey Tom. Willie's not an Ass Man Gold. Willie's not like... Those are the only YouTubers I know. He's not an institution on YouTube. He's held up by artificial support from his tenured grandfathering in of the commentary community. This is true. And we've seen it. We've seen it when people in the commentary community that are held up by them try to leave. It doesn't work sometimes. Willie goes after Augie, and let's see how it is.
Respected commentator Augie called me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago.
Hitting your goals has nothing to do with
Willie,
discipline.
you're like...
The real culprit
Yeah.
is friction, and it's
You think Willie married a... Look at all
slowly
these ads.
erodes your progress. Unlike what most
Willie says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSock's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit, it's as if context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect.
Easy, fella.
He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time just a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of JStock's docs. He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
It's like, to be fair to Augustus, I don't think that's what he was... I don't think that's what he was doing. To be completely fair to Augie, it kind of seems like he's just doing what Augie does best, just recapping the situation, barely giving input, and barely seeming like has any control of his legs. You know what I mean? I always assume, like, the way he always looks in his little shirts, it's like his mom is puppeteering him, but...
So obvious, yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willie says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSock's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit, it's as if...
Okay, so what Augie literally, like, if we transcribe the words Augie just said, he is just recapping what he sees and what happened. The thing that Willie has an issue with is Augie laughing. Because the words, Augie said, we're just recapping. What does Augie RFC stand for? What does the RFC show stand for? Re-fucking cap. We all know that, right? So, I mean, that was just what Augie was doing. But Willie is so defensive over his bride. I wonder, how about Miss Nagilo? That Augie laughing sets him off.
Context matters. It's as if me...
Yeah, buddy, context matters. Really, tough guy?
Calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote.
And to be fair to Willie, Willie probably has felt the earth shift underneath his YouTube Studios feed. In a way. Like, the numbers are, I'm sure he's not too upset where they're at. but his reputation and his peers' perspective on him, he has known it has shifted. So he's extra defensive.
Quote tweets.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time just a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of J-Stock's docs. He also replied under J-Stock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening.
I don't think you can use performative there. Like, Augie performing is like if you're claiming a vegetable in a wheelchair can dance. You know what? Augie he has no performance bone in his body. It's like what Augie emulates is like the son of a racist radio host from the 80s in a small town in Texas.
He also replied under J-Stock's docs.
Clip that. If you hear one of your YouTube, if you hear on my stream me insult a YouTuber in a way you haven't heard before, you're going to need to clip it.
Docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie X.
Willie needs to have a beer with him. When he's making these videos, Willie needs to be drinking. He'll be a lot less uptight.
Confused throughout this entire segment.
Literally days after he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willie's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that Queeman and J-Stock were saying. And basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny.
Okay, I'm lost at this point because I've smoked too much ganja. So I'm going to look back at my docs and, so 9:33. 9:33. I want to make sure I hit that part. Did I do that? I think I did.
He said bad empanada sucks for this. I wouldn't care.
I want you to okay. This is important. This is important. This is one of my big points about Willie tonight. This is important. If you're on your second monitor, put it down. Put your phone down. Eyes up. Eyes up, okay? Sin, put the alcohol down. Willie came at Augie's throat in this video. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I want you to specifically listen to the language Willie uses when addressing Augie throughout this video. Okay? Promise me? It starts here, I think.
It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious. Yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willie says you should.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here. So excuse me. It's right here. Okay. So listen to the words Willie specifically. No, hold on a minute. No, one second. I gotta go to my Twitter. Okay. This is what I want. Okay. So I want you to specifically listen to the word Willie uses to insult Augie here and dismiss him.
And he got doxxed, and I love that. You know? I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit.
Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. I think that's enough for Augie to fire up a classic stream and potentially end Willie. Don't you think? He'll show restraint. Augie will show restraint because he's Catholic or something. But you can't be like, this is like a spit in your face, fuck you.
And he got doxxed. I love that. You know? I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit.
Make life better for everybody. See, Willie is speaking also like Ethan Klein, where he's like uses phrases and cliches like that don't hit the mark. Like they're misplaced completely. Like they don't belong there. Like it's not really right. You know, it's like maybe 65% right. Do everybody a favor. Who's everybody, Willie? Who's everybody? Hey, man, do us all a favor and fucking kill you. It's like, oh, like, are you speaking for some group? What group is Willie speaking for here, chat?
That, you know?
Do us all a favor. What?
I don't think he ever said that.
The Jews? Is that what Willie means when he refers? Is that what Willie means?
And he got
Chat didn't say that. This is what I'm saying.
I love that. You know? I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit.
Make life better for everybody and just quit. Is Willie speaking for the Jews there? Because Augie is a admitted Jew hater. Augie doesn't like the Jews. He talks about it all the time. Is that who Willie is talking about? Hey, man. Just fucking quit. You're making life really difficult for us Jews. Do us all a favor, man. Just fucking quit. Make life easier for everybody. Make life easier for everybody. My jaw hit the floor. Like, what are you doing talking like that to the guy who can weaponize his autistic anonymous audience and really embarrass you and make you like, you know what I mean? Here's the thing. It's like, Willie has done enough where I think I would where I would totally justify, and I think it would be totally justifiable if Augie wanted to essentially tell his audience that we're not fucking with this guy anymore, right? Because that ends up that is what happens. It's like they make a decision and then they go to their audience who has been with them and have bonded with them at this point for like 8 years. You know what I'm saying here? Hippleton, jump in here if you know what I mean. It's like Augie and Nicholas. This might be too armchair quarterback here, but it's like at this point, Augie and Nick's audience have had that parasocial dynamic with those two specifically for like the majority of their young lives, like through so much time, where they do kind of where Nick and Augie do have that sort of arbitrary, this is what we're doing now, guys, trust us, it'll be good content, like trust us, we're right here, you know what I mean? And then
there's a reason they're called the Cabal, Salvo, you know?
Right, you know what I mean though, like am I too stoned? Chat's probably looking at this guy's crazy.
I think you're spitting facts. I think
then let me know.
Have cultivated this relationship
then let
with
me know.
Their fans.
Tell me that I'm saying things that are new to your brain that just makes sense instantly because I put it so quickly and made you understand so eloquently. This is what people tell me in real life, Himpleton. They tell me I get complimented in the most outrageous, beautiful, otherworldly ways that like make me get on my knees and like almost kiss their feet. Anywho, so Willie's big thing is quit when he's talking about Augie. And that theme and that tone goes through
with Augie. He told me a story
when I'm brought up. So here is Willie. The last time he addresses Augie is when I'll just let it play. Show, don't tell.
My last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is that same sympathy when it's happening to me and my wife? My last conversation with Augie,
was all
he told
worth
me a story
it!
about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing
Yes!
him and his family. So where is that same
Yes!
sympathy when it's happening to me and my wife? My last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is that
I was
same
right
sympathy
all
when it's
along.
happening to me and
I
my
continue
wife?
to be
My last
proven
conversation
right.
with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family.
I
So
told-
where is
I
that
told
same sympathy
everybody
when
that's
it's
why he
happening to
wasn't
me and my wife? My last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit
Like,
drama
I
for a
told
year because
everybody.
a guy named Salvo was
They're like, why isn't Augie streaming? They're like, why isn't Augie streaming? Why is I'm like, why are you? It's because I'm here. It just feels good. It feels good to be right. It does. You gonna hate a man to celebrate being right? Imagine hating a man that just dances, celebrates wins. We can't be hating men who celebrate wins. I was right all along. Everything, trust me, everything that I say behind this mic might sound crazy and outlandish, but it is always right. Where's Augie been? Are you guys slow? What do you mean? You need me to tell you again where he's been? It's because I've been making fun of him and ruining his ego. Poor guy. Poor guy. But what did you say again?
My last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy
A
named
year. Oh my God.
Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So
Okay, so again, I'm gonna sue Willie. Actually, I should. I should sue Willie. I should just get him tied up, and then his fucking Jewish in-laws put the hammer on me and like fuck my whole shit up. But I should sue him because Willie, you know what happened. You know I didn't dox his mother. Like, chat. You know that I just reposted a picture that Augie posted on main timeline of him and his beautiful mother at the Grand Canyon. He posted that picture on his timeline, and I took a screenshot. We all take screenshots, and I made a YouTube short green screen. Doxing and harassing, Mister, you know better than that. That's not doxing. That is all that I did. And Augie, and I was friends with Augie at that time, sure. And I understood when he told me, fuck you, I'm never going to talk to you again. I go, I get it. I understand. I understand. It's okay. Don't worry about it, kid. But there is doxing and harassing. I don't know. Do I have a case?
doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is...
Anyways.
Salvo, that wasn't the only crazy claim that he made. Listen, I don't like Bad Empanada just as much as the rest of everyone, but Willie repeatedly said that Bad Empanada was engaging in swatting, which is a crazy claim to make given the fact that he was likely filing a malicious police report. But back in the day, swatting was when you get somebody, like, you get the SWAT at somebody's door. You're trying to get somebody hurt. You're trying to get somebody killed, right? And, like, I don't know, filing a police report is a far cry from, like, calling the, the feds or whoever, the police, and saying, yeah, there's a guy holding up, like, 3 women inside of this house. Like, go get them now. Like, this is a dire, horrible thing. So he's been making multiple claims that are very, very exaggerative.
So I don't know that, but people would probably, like, the consensus is that Willie's exaggerating about that claim.
I mean, I don't see how Bad Empanada filing a police report can be equated to swatting in any way or fashion.
Dude, and here's the thing, Himpleton. The Klein's kids, I follow the Klein's closely. I'm obsessed with their children. I love, I'm obsessed. They're like, I've been talking to Bruce Klein, which is Gila and Ethan's oldest son, Bruce. I've been talking to the superintendent of the private school that their children are in, and they're the slowest in the class. Like they have trouble reading, they have trouble walking, they have trouble eating's a big one, they have trouble defecating in the correct area. Like they're a mess, right? So it's like that's true. I did do that. And so no, but like for real, based on the word, like if you actually listen to the H3 podcast, a CPS call on the Klein's kids might be warranted. Actually, those kids are constantly getting it. I'm not even kidding. Those kids and Ethan and Neela have been routinely contracting a disease, a worm in their stomach that only comes from feces. This is true. And Ethan's old videos and him and his bride, another IDF soldier, by the way, like Ethan Klein's wife, we all know that's a fact. She was an office job, they say. I saw you holding a gun, bitch. Their old comedy skits, so many of them were like Ethan wearing a diaper or Ethan eating poop off the floor. And I'm so sorry, but over so many years where the people closest to Ethan are getting like routine viruses that are directly linked to eating poop and having poop around, sure, give them a call just to see if those kids are right. And by the way, dude, they called CPS on those kids months ago, and the CPS has been and investigated that situation a few times, and guess what? They're still investigating it, correct? Like CPS didn't investigate off a fraudulent call, and then CPS came out and was like, everything's cool here, we don't need to come back. They have routinely showed up at their house, correct? After that call that was made. And it's like, I'm sorry, but it's Jewish as fuck to like ever blame anybody and act like you're the victim. It's the most Jewish thing Ethan and Neela do. Clip this, by the way. This is the most Jewish thing Ethan and Neela do is act like the victim of somebody else calling CPS on their family. It's like the way they instantly acted like such a victim and so attacked and like completely dumbfounded and acted like it was such a crazy line that anybody crossed is so Jewish. It's the most Jewish thing they've ever done is it's like, you're the victim for other people calling child protective services on your family. I don't know. I don't know about that. And it's quite interesting the year that Ethan's had on he's being so aggressive in silencing and getting small streamers like way small, like Denim's, Frogan, and the other bitches, like they're small. Like they're not, it's like they're not, they might be friends with someone who's the biggest, but they're small streamers. And for Ethan to be like silencing them and like getting them completely bogged down with lawsuits, which is like it's a problem this day and age on YouTube. I don't know why more people aren't fucking calling that out, bro. It's like, what? Billy Mitchell is a fucking loser, by the way. He's a fucking loser. Look at the suits. Look at his hair. Look at how he acts. That's a fucking lonely loser of a man. And he's got big balls and a big dick and a big fucking attitude about him because he won a lawsuit because Carl Jopes said information. I don't know the details on that, but it's like you want to it's like winning defamation lawsuit. It's like you're such a fucking loser. Him and then fucking who else is Ethan's constantly suing people. Grace Thorpe's not suing. It's like that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Really? And it's like Ethan has been so aggressive in going after people who are essentially making content on him, like just like what he does every day to so many other people. It's like, Ethan, we're actually going to get the authorities now involved with how you treat Gabe and the other special needs people that you parade on your show every week. Ethan has like a gaggle crew. Ethan thinks he's Howard Stern because he lives in Beverly Hills and he bought a bunch of mics and he filled it with a bunch of people and they still can't fill that air with sound. There's 500 people on that show, and there's still the most dead air ever. And Ethan has never hit a joke. He's never been funny on that show. So if anybody's pro Ethan Klein in any way, they have some other purposes going on in their head. And it's like, all fucking year, I'm like, why is Willie Mack so pro Ethan Klein? Oh, his wife is a fucking IDF fucking Nazi Jew. Okay. That makes sense. How about you, Diorio? You live in Long Island, right? Or somewhere up there. Are you Jewish? You're in New York. Nick, are you Jewish? I know you're Italian, but you could be Jewish. Like, we needed to actually ask the question, is Nicholas Diorio Jewish? Based on him having anything good to say about Ethan Klein. At all. Like, nobody should be pro Ethan Klein about literally fucking anything. And it's like he's suing Reddit. Like, he's suing administrators and moderators on a Reddit. I'm sorry, but this is like literally what the fucking Zionist administration over in Israel and over here are doing to like any Jewish shit. It's like you just fucking hit them with the books, hit them with the law. It's like, what? Ethan, go work for the embassy, bro. Get this out in a healthier way. Go work for the embassy. Like, go do it. Like, do something else. Don't fucking role play war over here. Don't role play war. Because like that's what it feels like. He's role playing war because he's such a fucking rich, bored. You know? It like his actions have been so aggressive. It really makes you think he's actually like fucking those kids. You know what I mean? Ethan, are you fucking those kids? What's going on? You fucking those kids, Ethan? No, he's not doing that. He's not doing that. Hey, buddy.
Salvo, before we get too into that, I just wanted to let you know that Nikandros is ready a little bit early. I know that we were about to have Nerd City on, and so I just wanted to defer to you and go ahead and ask you what you want to do.
If he's ready, let's pull him in.
You want to go ahead and do Nikandros?
Yeah, for sure. I could talk about Ethan Klein for a week straight. So for sure, let's pull him in.
All right, I'll get him on. You keep on going, but I'll get him in.
All right, so let me introduce him.
Oh, he's in live waiting. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna introduce Nikandros. So Mutahar, some ordinary gamers. Well, I think his reputation is pretty much tarnished. Completely. Right. Nikandros and the Harmful Opinions dude, they kind of like work together, it seemed like. I mean, Nikandros' video here, it kind of, he did a fantastic job of going through and really making it known that Mutahar told a bunch of lies, and even the lies did not line up in the timeline, and the fucking lies that made no sense in the timeline, that contradicted the thing he said last week, that contradicted the thing that will happen in a month, that contradict the thing that happened in 2 months, that will technically contradict everything, is also like illegal where he's at, and it's kind of ironic because Mutahar is like, what he was doing is technically breaking a law because they take who can claim being an engineer seriously, surprisingly, right? And Mutahar's response on it was horrible, in my opinion. It really made him look so pompous, which is a shame. And that kind of was started by Nikandros, who here is his YouTube page right here. He is one of these commentary anons. Nikandros is a commentary anon, which I have no problem with, but it is something that I will use against them if they say something bad about me, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But he gets it. And here is the video. And Mutahar has been a fake engineer for 10 years, is correct. And in Mutahar's response, we all know he admitted that, essentially. But he kind of glazed it over as, so fucking what? It's not that big of a deal. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting, despite, you know, you having hard stances on so many other things and and this lie that you're so quickly to brush off is like you use it to prop your reputation, your credentials, kind of use to prop your whole status up, your opinion up, your take up, your character, your reputation. All based on a lie.
He barely even admitted to lying. He really just said he's not a quote unquote degree holding engineer. He didn't even say he's not an engineer. He just said, if you're mad that, you know, I'm doing engineering stuff and I'm not a quote unquote degree holding engineer, which newsflash, Muta, you have to have a degree to be an engineer.
Yeah. So let's pull Nikandros in here, everybody. So if you hate Mutahar, round of applause for Nikandros, because I think he played a part. I think he might have played a good part in really taking down Mutahar. So Nikandros, hello.
Hello. I just woke up, so my voice sounds a bit deeper than usual.
Sure. It definitely sounds deeper than usual. I'm going to turn you up here 1 second. How do I do that? What the fuck? Sorry. I'm not so good at this. What time is it? Where the hell are you from?
Finland. It's 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m. in Finland. What is it like waking up 7:30 a.m. in Finland?
I don't have anything to say about that.
When you look out your window, what do you see? Like I'm trying to get in your room essentially here. You know what I'm saying?
Overcast, I guess.
Okay.
Lighting.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Nikandros, welcome to the show. I do appreciate you coming on here. So you made the video. Would you take credit for the Mutahar sort of downfall here? Because he kind of was a prize cow for a little bit. I don't know about you, but like definitely the last year, you know, the tides on Mutahar definitely seemed to sway, and it seemed like everyone was waiting around for someone to kind of take that shot at Mutahar. Do you think it worked?
Well, it definitely seemed to. Like, people say they're like, oh, you know, he's back to making videos now. But it's like, can he ever go on a live stream without being asked about this shit? Can he interact with other creators without like them talking about him being a total liar? There's a lot of like permanent damage that this has done, which is you know, is going to weigh him down quite a bit.
I do agree, and it's like even beyond just what you sort of stated, it like him mentally, like is he even going to be able to even go on? Because it's like he knows what this has done. A liar knows. Someone who has deceived as much as Mutahar has actively deceived. Once that fucking like window of deception is opened, you can never close that window. You can never close that window. And it's like it's curious. What was like your catalyst, like your reasoning for sitting down and making this video? Did you have any?
It actually leads back to like the events of last year, which is when Mutahar's reputation began to kind of falter initially. And that also involved me and Harmful Opinions working together, funnily enough.
And what was that drama?
It's the drama with Chat Logic, if you remember at all, if you followed that.
Fill me in. Briefly,
well,
you don't got anything crazy. Yeah.
Basically, Mutahar called in the chat show after the Eva Tyson, Mr. Beast, Shadman stuff. And Nakstaku, who was Mutahar's like friend and also podcast co-host for a long time, he was he found himself in like the you know, in the sights of these like Shadman connection, relationship, association, accusations, and Mutahar was asked about them, and by Chad, and Mutahar gave an answer like, hey, we're canceling the podcast, we're canceling the last episode. Nakstaku is definitely lying about his lack of knowledge. Like he must have known who this guy was. I don't like the idea that they tried to collab. And then like in a few hours, he takes it all back. But instead of clearing things up in a manner like, oh, I went on chat stream and I said something a little bit too harsh that I didn't mean to. He pretended he didn't say anything. Very much like in his response now, where he's like, oh, he omits like all the context. He omits all of the information about what exactly he's been accused of, that he's been lying about being an engineer for 10 years. In a very similar way, he like sweeps that all away. And I get mad about this weird like pulling of the rug. So I look into Nakstaku, I find all kinds of crazy shit about him. I tell about it to Harmful. Harmful makes a video. Shad watches the video. That leads to a confrontation with Mutahar and Logic, which leads to basically, from that point onwards, Mutahar is like running away from this like thing with Nakstaku, refusing to denounce him, refusing to do anything about him, even though the guy's been uploading like lolly hentai porn on YouTube to an audience of minors, not caring at all about like what that's gonna do. And that resulted in the post-Nux Clarity situation, and you know, that got me to I've been working on a video trying to cover it, and I just put this out there, as I say in my videos, like, oh, I couldn't fit this anywhere, so I'll just drop this, I guess, and then it like blew up.
Yeah, you know, and I remember when that went down, because I talked about it with like a couple people. I wasn't like making content at the time, but I specifically remember how shifty and how awful Mutahar looked and acted during that. And I'm
Oh yeah.
glad you saw that too, right? Because it was such a tipping point. Like obviously something was so flawed in that guy's character, right? Where he can act like that one day and completely flop around like a fish just trying to get anything. So I'm definitely glad you went and researched that. How long did that take? Because like in your video, you did an amazing job at really reiterating how often he spoke about this.
Well, the way that I did the research is that I used like a tool. There's a website called filmit.com that you can go to and search like, they have millions of like YouTube videos indexed in their database from like the biggest channels, not every video, but the biggest channels typically they have like a pretty good coverage. And you could just search through all the transcripts for like mentions of certain words. And I just searched for like engineer, job, my work, office, stuff like that to like, you know, originally it was about trying to figure out what the hell Mutahar's job was. Because he keeps insisting, yes, YouTube's not my job. But he's also talked about his job on YouTube, but it's not clear. So I'm like, okay, is this a real job? Because this guy kind of looks like a NEET to me. This guy looks like a Coomer, a
yeah,
Goomer. He doesn't have the vocabulary of someone who does like advanced work. Like he can barely even speak. So I'm wondering, and of course, you know, can't do his hair properly, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come across as a guy who's working. So I had to check.
Yeah. What did you think about his response to that? I know you made a video on it, but it's like, do you think that'll be the last time he mentions it in a video?
Last time he mentions it, probably.
That's crazy.
On the response.
That is so fucking crazy. Like that is how. I don't know. I don't like that at all. But it is probably the last time he mentions it because that's all he has to fucking do, I guess. But that's crazy.
Yeah, when you have a big enough audience, you can just hide behind, you know, all of that. It's gonna be millions of people that, well, maybe not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people that still like him, still want to watch him, despite, you know, lies that he tells them.
Do you think
maybe they don't care?
No, they don't care, and they don't really have the time, nor even are knowledgeable that like you can follow these guys on Twitter and even know that other people make content on Mutahar. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't even come across to those people, right? That like people would be criticizing him at all. So in your video, you stated that he could be fined. Do you think he should be fined? Like if you were the judge, like if you were the fucking notary up in Toronto, Canada, and you heard about this, Nikandros, would you do it?
I mean, he's been kind of using this engineer label to like sell his credibility, and he's been selling like tech-related sponsorships. He's done like, he did the Intel sponsored video in 2015 where he's talking about being an engineer.
Right.
So like, there is like, I don't know about the law necessarily. It's possible that I bring up an example in one of the newest video about the politician that was fined. Apparently they have like a higher kind of like sensitivity to getting like fined because they're like a public representative of something.
Right.
So it wouldn't apply in the same way to like a YouTuber. But if it was like, if they cared about like the sanctity of like this engineer word and made sure that no one was using it and misled the public, from that perspective, maybe he could be fined. But
I guess he is the tech guy, right? Like it's like not only did the YouTuber lied about his job, it's like he's the Indian tech guy who's lying about being an engineer. And that is almost like, that is so egregious and actually like bad. And I don't even hear that take really being thrown, like I do, but it is like everything was based on a total fraudulent like lie. Everything. If you could interview Muta tomorrow, what would you ask him?
I would ask him, why did he go back on condemning Nakstaku? To be honest.
Right, like
that's a very interesting question. I have no way to like understand why the fuck he would back out after the fucking post-Nux Clarity shit.
Right. Like it almost seems like a guy who, because he did do it and then he had that turnaround in a day. Like it was pretty quick.
He's flipped on it. He's like went back and forth on him like 3 times in total. It's like crazy.
That's like a guy who has shit on him. Like a fucking rat in a corner who has like dirt.
I mean, that's the thought that comes on everyone. Like, is he being like blackmailed? Is he being extorted by Nakstaku somehow to keep him off his back, or like to keep him away? And like, I've been making the Nakstaku Jeffrey Epstein comparison jokes from like last year, and if it's true that there is an extortion, there is blackmail, that would be really, really funny for that fucking reason. Funny
and huge. That'd be such a crazy, huge, funny story. Do you like? So you've obviously looked into it. Is there any credence or clues or like anything that points to that being a possibility, other than sort of just what it is? You know what I mean?
Well, I've seen like Nicholas Diorio talk about the idea that there could be blackmail. I don't know. I have no like, outside of the weird behavior and the seemingly massive amount of leverage that Nux has over Mutahar's behavior, I have no clue.
Because the alternative is Mutahar is still friends with him, and we all know what type of guy Nux is. Like, when was the last time he spoke in a way that insinuated or flat out said that they were friendly still?
I haven't seen him talk about it publicly, but they apparently are privately friends still.
Maybe he didn't want to lose a friend.
Yeah, that would be extremely sad.
Do you think he even owns the 7-Elevens? Right? Because here's what I know. Nikandros. And it's like, you lit a fire under my ass. Let me tell you, because I was planning on coming back. Like, because I was talking to Himpleton for months here and there about, hey, I'm gonna do this eventually, And he would message me and I'd be like, I'm a month out still. You know what I mean? And this dropped in like such a perfect time. Because I've had run-ins with Mutahar too. And so it's like, I know how he is behind the scenes. And for someone who was lying about his job, he mentioned it so often. right? And it's we obviously know that's kind of what liars do when they're telling such a big lie. It's on their mind, obviously, so much, right? Like it just naturally comes into the conversations. He was always mentioning YouTube's not my first job. And I'm not such a big Mutahar fan, so it's like, to be honest, I knew he was like a tech guy and all this and stuff and like software. I just assumed and kind of heard, and I guess it was kind of common knowledge, which is scary. It's also like an also big deal because that was sort of the common knowledge was Mutahar the engineer. And it's like, what? It's like, are people so trusting in Indians because they know they're such docile creatures and they're harmless, pathetic beings? I don't know. Where they're able to just tell a decade-long lie like this, and it just takes an autistic guy in Denmark to fucking crack the code. I love it. You know what I mean?
Finland, actually.
Finland, excuse me. But what was I saying? Oh, behind the scenes, right?
7-Elevens?
7-Elevens, right. Behind the scenes, especially his wife, Dojangles, which I have more history with her because she was like my in-between with Mutahar. I talked to Mutahar sometimes one-on-one, but mainly I would speak to Mutahar through her. It was very odd. She like plays his agent, his like social agent to like smaller people online. She really does. It's super weird. I have more history with her, and I would love to run into her at a coffee shop. Oh, you would see me on the news. You would. I would be a public crazy person. I wouldn't do anything. I would just be yelling at her. I'm not gonna harm her. I might be banned from the store. Is that such a big deal? Am I gonna get canceled for yelling at Mutahar's wife in a Starbucks? Like, I would hope not. What a sad world that would be. Anywho, but she was telling everyone and telling me, he's into real estate. He does real estate investments. His group does real estate investments. And I'm nosy, and I always believe people are lying. And she's a woman. So I knew that the more information I got out of her, the more information I had on her. You know? So like I would be like, what kind of real estate? And it would be he owns 7-Elevens. And I've lived around a lot of ethnic brown people in my life. Hence my Palestinian thing. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, on the west side, and it is the second most populated concentrate in the United States of Palestinians. So I grew up around Palestine. Like my public school, Westlake Public School, was white people like me, Logan and Jake Paul, all graduated from Westlake, affluent, upper middle class, white, right? In the surrounding areas were, but the second big population were Palestinians, like more black, like we had maybe 2 black kids and maybe way more Palestinians, right? So there is an added, I kind of got good at recognizing liars. I love them, but they're shifty, for sure. They're shifty, and it's true, Hippleton. Hippleton's a fucking libnob. But here's the thing, Hippleton. They are immigrants from a war country, and their family got over here one way or the other. They're shifty. My dad was a first generation immigrant here in the United States. So I know that shifty sort of doing what you need to do to survive, essentially. And the Palestinians, I get along with them because they're great socially, right? So it's like they're socially smart, for sure. And that's just based on where they are in their lineage. They're going through a genocide, Himpleton. I'm so sorry that I described them as shifty as a need to survive, as an accessory that they developed to survive. I'm so sorry they're going through a genocide, bud. Do you understand? Jesus Christ. Boulder. This is what Boulder's like. You got to watch every fucking thing you say in Boulder. This is what it was like. This is why I got kicked out of the state of Boulder, by the way. Himpleton lives in the last city I lived in, and they kicked me out because I was speaking very bluntly all the time. I got probation because people like Himpleton were afraid of me. For real. Nah, I'm just too real. I'm correct, right? So I know when specifically ethnic, second generation, first generation, like the majority of Palestinians around me, like my father, like Mutahar, first generation in America / Canada. I know how, I know, you know what I mean? So I never, I always knew that the story on Mutahar, that I was receiving from Dojangles and Mutahar was like, there's truth and there's lies in that. Like it was never full truth because it didn't make sense. Didn't make sense. He owned 7-Elevens in Canada. I'm like, okay, so Nikandros, correct me if I'm wrong. Owning stores and owning property is what type of investment? It's a real estate investment, right?
Yeah, seems to be.
Right. It's you are a guy that invests in that property, right? But that's not work. Like if you own 7-Elevens, what are you doing for work? Because that's not work. That's you own those so you're working in the 7-Elevens? Or is it YouTube? You know what I mean? So it never made sense and it's so pricey. What do you think he does?
I guess nothing. Maybe something.
Here's the question too. Do we even think the owning of the 7-Elevens is real? Because he's talked about it on Augie's live streams as well.
No, I don't. What do you think, Nikandros?
What has he said? Because I believe he DM'd Augie, and like Augie, published this DM where he said, I own a few 7-Elevens in response to like the Ralph mail. And then on like a podcast, on his Some Ordinary podcast with Simi and Jimmy, Mumky Jones, Mutahar has said that he just bought a 7-Eleven. So it's not a few, he just bought one. And on his live stream, he talked about like investing in holdings that own 7-Elevens. And he like, it's really funny like timestamp because he's molding about Ethan Ralph so much that he tells this like story about going to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, that he sometimes goes to like these 3-star Michelin restaurants, gets his car valeted and everything, sits down at a fancy table and reads Kiwi Farms on his fucking phone and laughs about like what a loser Ethan Ralph is. Like imagine you're going to a fancy restaurant, some like autistic Indian guy's like laughing at his fucking phone.
But that's how it is. That's how it is. Here's the thing. I live in the fucking city. The people laughing at their phone out loud to some fucking bullshit, they're the Indians. They're the Somalians. It is.
Okay.
It is. They are. Like, I'm sorry, but it's the white people, except me. I talk on speaker loud all the time. But, it's mainly the Somalians or the young African-American couple who they have to FaceTime when they're separate because she thinks he's always going to cheat. So they need a FaceTime. You know what I mean? It's like that's why they're on their, like when you're checking out.
That's why?
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think so. That's why when you're checking out at a gas station or a restaurant or your Target or Walmart, they're always FaceTiming their boo or on the phone with their boo. That's because they have trust issues because she thinks that he's going to cheat on her. For real. I've asked enough. I ask. Huh. I'm not making assumptions. I asked.
I didn't know that. It kind of makes sense now.
Kind of makes sense. Himpleton, you can drag Nerd City into, or I should ask Nikandros. Nikandros, do you mind if Nerd City joins the call?
No, not at all.
Okay, so.
Wait, can I ask Nikandros one question?
You should ask him three. You should ask him three.
So, okay, well, I have just a couple of like they're softballs, very easy. So one of the only criticisms I've seen you receive for your videos is people in Mutahar's subreddit coping and saying that your voice is AI. What are your thoughts on that?
How am I supposed to prove that it's not? Because I use I don't have any like digital effects on this. I have an analog processor, a DBX286S that does everything. And maybe I have quite a lot of quite a heavy compressor on it, but this is just like I'm just speaking in a way that I've learned to speak, I guess.
Well, and I think the fact that you're on a live stream right now and you're immediately responding to us, and the other day I was in a VC with you immediately responding to us. I told my buddy Astro John the other day, I was like, if he's AI, he's got to be typing at like 230 words per minute or something, because he has it ready down pat, right? And I think it's, if anything, just a compliment, because you got this very like bassy, you got a good YouTube voice. But I just thought it was so funny that the only thing they could come up with to criticize you was essentially just being like, his voice is AI, as if that discredits any of the points you made, regardless, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, like what's the noise that I need to make that an AI cannot make?
Exactly.
Am I a human now?
Hey, you've satisfied me. Okay, hopefully the detractors watch this and they realize to be really stupid.
Will you ever cam up? Will you ever do a face cam?
Maybe sometime in the future.
How tall are you?
No,
How tall are you?
No.
How tall are you?
2 meters. Just about
6 foot.
6'7".
6'7"?
6'7"?
Yeah.
God damn. Okay.
Oh. Wow. It makes sense, doesn't it, Hippleton? Dude, he's swinging his dick around. He's a 6'7" confident monster swinging his dick.
He full
dude,
is.
Dude,
also,
he saw.
Nick, ignore the chat telling you how to prove that you're not AI. Ignore that. Whatever you do not engage. They want you to say the N-word. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
I need to say. I'm actually against the N-word. I am, and it's not. No,
so
I am.
brave.
And it's not because of the racial thing. It's because it's gotten tacky and overplayed. It has. It has. You go online nowadays. It's like, whoa. It's like the people who. You just see a lot of uncool people saying it now. It used to only be top dogs. It used to only be top dogs saying that word. You know what I mean? Like
top dogs.
Yeah, only the top dogs would be saying it publicly. Now everybody says it, and it's like, well, I can't be. I'm not the top dog if everyone's here. Everyone has now entered the dog park. I've been top dog in that field forever. You know what I mean? Top.
Of course.
Top.
I mean, like this would be the natural outcome if like using the word was like common. It would just be boring. No one would like want to use it anymore. It would be uncool immediately.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, right.
There is like a social flex to it. Like if you can get away with saying it and being white, that means you're very like well respected or something.
Sure.
Should we see how Nerd feels about this?
Drag him
I'm
in.
sure he has thoughts on this. Yeah, absolutely.
Nerd City, hello buddy. He's on delay.
Talking.
I have the longest latency. The longest latency on my stream. It's like people don't know that like what they're listening to is 8 minutes. Like we've been past 8 minutes at this point. I like it because I got to keep them. It's like chat. To keep a happy chat is like to keep a dog on a treadmill for 20 fucking hours straight. It's like you gotta make them know and make them remember and feel we're not that close. You're in the chat. I'm behind the mic. You're playing catch up at all levels to me. We're not that close. If you ever see a streamer with like the lowest latency where they're speaking and the chat is here, no. They're a different breed. That's not they mentally think that they're that close with the chat. I'm 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I gotta remind them. Nerd, my good friend, how you doing?
Hey, Nikandros. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I just went through a few of your videos today. I was also wondering if your voice and if Harmful Opinion's voice was from 11 Labs, because it is kind of perfect. It's a good narration voice. So that's a compliment that people don't believe it's your voice. Like that's great. You're like what's the name of that guy? He had that song about like choke me, fuck me. You know what I'm talking about? He got really big playing Among Us with everybody.
The
He had
corpse
super
guy.
deep voice.
Corpse husband.
Yeah, corpse husband.
Yep.
Yeah. You're the next corpse husband.
Maybe it is. Did you
Exposing
just
fake engineers?
maybe it is corpse. And you just kind of shifted fields here. Nah, his voice sounds
No,
like that
I know
nerd.
Corpse,
Nerd.
it's
Did you
not
hear
him.
how tall he is? He's 6'7".
6'7".
What?
Yeah, I'd like to see Russia invade them again. It's not gonna go so
Whoa.
well this time. They're giant. They got booming voices. They're like the trees in Lord of the Rings. It sounds like.
That's wild. How tall is Harmful Opinions? And I have a question about that. You and Harmful Opinions are anons, right? Are you guys anons to each other?
Harmful as his like full name and face is like public. He shows it on his Twitch streams.
Well, that's what I
think
wonder.
he's 180 centimeters.
What do you
I believe
think,
is the
nerd?
exact,
What do you think? You think the anons are also anons when it's just them?
Do you mean people that don't show their like faceless people?
Faceless, yeah.
Man, being faceless on YouTube seems a little bit tough with what's going on with AI. Like, I don't want to watch a video with somebody that doesn't, like, at least intro or outro the video. Like, hey, I'm here. It's a person, you know? Because I've had some videos, like, autoplay to me in the middle of the night that are just, like, insane misinformation that's just narrated on a channel that's called, like, you know, History Exposed or something. You know, like, I'll be, like, I'll be watching something normal, and then I wake up in the middle of the night, and it's like, and we don't, with a voice like Nikandros, and it's like, we don't know who built the skyscrapers in New York. Who were these engineers? These mysterious Canadian engineers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what? We know who built the skyscrapers. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah. So AI is like a problem. So, you know, I like to see a face. I feel like the sooner you do a face reveal, the better, probably. But I don't know. It depends
6'7".
what kind of content you're
It's like
making.
this guy needs to, dude. Nikandros, you don't have to do a face. You should stand by a fucking tape measure during your videos, and that's how you should do it. You would be the biggest
You should
YouTuber.
go immediately into influencer boxing. Just
Yes.
clean up.
6'7". It's like, dude, you could be captivating the woman clamor. It's like, are you kidding? These women are desperately looking for a guy to just online where they can put on and feel innocent and just listen and watch them. How big are your hands? Do a hand reveal. Let's see them, man.
I could do a hand
Jesus
reveal,
Christ.
but
Can you imagine Jesse PS's face right now as you're doing this? Let's stop the man glazing for a second. So,
Sure.
Nikandros, just to underline that point you made about engineer and how important it is in Canada. Do you know about the call of the engineer?
I am familiar. It's Rudyard Kipling wrote this ritual for them because a
Yeah.
bridge collapsed, and like
So there's
the Canadians, they get the rings from like the metal of the collapsed bridge. Is that right?
Exactly. If I was making a video about engineers in Canada, I would definitely like incorporate that visual. It's a secret. They have a secret ritual with a ring, you know?
I
So
actually
that's
had it.
just so
I actually had it in my video at one point, but I was trying to like initially prove that hey, he's claiming this engineer education. He needs 4 years of that, 4 years of training to be an engineer, but it doesn't fit in the timeline. But then I found the clips of him saying like, yeah, I'm a dropout. So you know that's the end of that.
Yeah. So just to underline how important that is in Canada, it's like
That is kinda gay,
though.
though.
This would have heard of.
You know
No,
what
it's
I mean?
cool. It's cool.
You think it's cool?
No, think about it. Yeah. Because all right, so doctors take the Hippocratic oath during graduation, right? They pledge to like do no harm, and that's part of why we trust them to give us medication usually.
Sure.
So engineers in Canada do a similar thing where they have like a secret ceremony. It's not secret, it's private. And they pledge that they're not gonna like make a fucked up bridge. You know, they pledge to basically do no harm and do a good job and, you know, like not skimp and make tofu crap like China. And we don't have something like that
Easy
in the US.
now.
You know?
Easy now.
Pretty nice. So that they get an iron ring that they really value, and that's their pledge to do a good job. It's kind of cool. But that's also why it's so important that, you know, like that you're part of that fraternity essentially. So that it's more than just like a weird little legal quirk of Canada. It's also kind of like a national pride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The engineering status is a Canadian national pride?
A little bit, yeah. Like if you answered the call of the engineer, like you take that seriously.
Even computer though? Because he's not doing any. He's not like a road engineer.
I mean, computer engineers are still considered engineers, I believe.
Yeah, because they do. I think they take the first like 3 years would be general engineering, and then they specialize in the end or something like that.
Yeah, but it's at the bottom. Computer engineers got to be like, what is less cool than being a computer engineer in the realm of engineers? It's at the bottom.
I will say.
I mean, it's definitely not as like. Not as important in the sense, I guess. I mean, you can work, like, computer engineers, they're not like programmers only. There's actually a Hassan editor, like one of these like Hassan Clip Industrial Complex people, who is a computer engineer who like made a segment out of Hassan's reaction to my video. And I asked him in the comments, like, hey, like, people keep saying, they keep mistaking like, oh, computer engineer is the same thing as software engineer, which is not, like, it's software development in Canada, I believe. And I've heard that it's like more similar to like electrical engineering, and the guy gave like a breakdown of like, oh, if electrical engineering is like 95% hardware to 5% software, computer engineer is like, 80%, hardware, 20% software. So, that's a skill that I've never seen Mutahar build anything out of electronics.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I don't really know what a computer engineer does. Are they doing code? Is that a coder?
It would be like setting up a motherboard,
They do, yeah,
oh
my
they, like, design, God! Like, I can't believe that. It's so funny. That's what it is. Yeah. They're Geek Squad. They're American Geek Squad. This big Canadian big thing is just American Geek Squad. Computer engineering.
Well, come on. It's like it's beyond Geek Squad stuff, like designing computer hardware, writing embedded like coding stuff. Programming like integrated circuits, I believe.
What would you lie about? What would be your lie, Nikandros?
I don't really know. I just kind of like because I understand like if you lie on the internet, especially if you lie on like on a live call on like a show, it's on record. Someone's out there keeping records.
It doesn't fucking matter. These fuckers lie about me constantly on live streams, and nobody corrects them, even when they know the truth. It doesn't matter.
You gotta start timelining.
Are never held accountable.
Nerd,
so
that is true. That is true.
Lie away.
It's true. Nerd is that one guy from the commentary that always will get trashed by everybody who streams in commentary, and nobody, not even one chatter, will say any. It's crazy. It is crazy. Nerd, but you get one lie. You get one lie on YouTube, and you can get away with it until some autistic 6'7" monster giant from Denmark comes out of the woods to expose you. Finland. Excuse me. What is
Finland, Salvo. Finland.
Finland. I have a question for Nikandros. This is really my last question.
Okay. You're good.
When I was looking through your channel, I saw that I think it was the first video you posted about Mutahar was a giant clip of him saying why he didn't like Hassan Piker. And when I listened to that, I was like, was there more before that? Why did you post that clip?
In like early 2025, I believe.
Why did you single that out? Like, what did that mean to you?
Well, I didn't know that I could make a viral video by putting in like less effort than I did in my like in one of my earlier videos about like the Mutahar and Shard Logic drama. So I was hoping that that would take off and like start drama between Hassan and Mutahar, because I know that Mutahar's got all these weaknesses.
Yeah.
So
I
that
get
would
it.
Be funny if it would come
I
up
get it. Nerd's been big Hollywood for a decade now, Nikandros. It's like us smaller guys. We try things to just fucking get our seed to our pot fertile. You know what I mean?
He's a smart guy. I didn't think it was an experiment. I thought it was. I thought you were basically signaling like, wow, he's out of pocket here. I can't believe he would criticize Hassan like this. Were you
seems to be the takeaway. I personally don't. I'm not like a Hassan fan at all.
Oh, thank God.
In fact, like anything, quite the opposite. In fact.
Oh,
But,
good. All right, compliment him again, Salvo.
Oh, dude, it's like the only thing that could make Nikandros better in this moment. It's like he's 6'7". We do know that he spends a lot of time online, probably. The only thing that would make him better is those big hands having calluses, right? And work
Jesus Christ.
hard.
This is where Salvo being 20% gay kicks in. He's like, show me the hands. Now hold a ruler up to him. I want to see the ruler between your thumb and your middle finger.
Come on.
Okay, interesting. Can I see your shoes?
You went too far. You went farther than I did there. But okay. We haven't even talked about it.
On this stream so far, you are claiming that Willie Mack's mother and father-in-law are Mossad.
Bro.
What else did you...
Dude,
wild claims so far.
Okay, sure, it's wild, but I think those dots are like so big. I have to at least try to make a connection there. Like,
it's at least entertaining. It's better than the. See, the thing about those fucks is they're not entertaining. Number one, and they do this like, it's like if you were gonna like think of an analog between the crimes on YouTube and crimes in real life, they're doing misdemeanors all the time. They're not doing felonies, but it's like misdemeanors. And so if you care about things being true, which I think Nikandros is a fellow truther, if you care about being accurate about things, then it drives you crazy to listen to somebody when you know the story really well.
Who's the worst liar, nerd?
Who's the worst liar? Oh, God. Probably, I mean, they're all the same. They're all the same type of person. They all twist it just a little bit.
What type of petty theft would they be doing constantly?
Shoplifting, constant shoplifting. Just constant stuff in their pockets and being like, they don't mind, and actually I deserve to have this. Like that's them, just constantly. I think it's moral to take whatever I want. That's what they do.
Sure.
But the problem is like, over time, that just accumulates. And then you have this big fake lore that people start repeating back to you. It's like, what are you talking about? At this point, like, they're in such an alternate reality about me that I don't even know what they're mad about. Like, they've made it up. It's like the Joker with when you ask him, how did he get his scars? Well, I guess no one asked him. He's like, let me tell you how I got the scars. It's like, at this point, like, every time they say something, it's a little bit different. The story happens a little bit different. They've completely made up this, like,
who's
there's a story about
Who
how
is
I called
they?
drunk
Who is they?
in the middle of the night.
Who is they?
It's the cabal. Okay, the ones that are dying to be relevant enough to be fucking referenced by anybody. Okay,
Sure.
All of these losers. So what you should do, Salvo, is just set your sights up higher. Okay. You should be talking about Epstein. You should be talking about P. Diddy, Puffy, Kanye.
Dude, here's
West.
the thing.
Like,
here's the thing.
People like that.
Well, it's gonna be
Talk
tough.
about-
I'm planting the seeds. Because if I were to come back and just talked about mainstream stuff, I need to grab them. I need to grab the audience by the collar and be like, hey, and get real close to
you
them.
need to shake them off. Everybody who knows who you are, you should probably shake off. Everyone in chat, you're cool, okay?
I'm not
But
trying to shake
everybody else,
anybody off. I'm just doing my
they're
thing.
like
I'm just
little
doing my
critters.
thing.
They're
I'm
like
just doing my thing.
They're like leeches on your leg, and you got like 50 of them.
Who?
You need to like basically
Throw them out.
pop them off.
Come on.
No, I'm not calling them out by name. Fuck them. Because you know what they do? They make little tip donation sound effects when you say their name. So fuck that. That can be the dono sound.
Sure. No, I think we all know what you're saying for sure. You know?
Okay.
Do you?
I'm glad to be talking to people who can understand me. That's the other thing, okay? When you listen to these people that are like, okay, you can deal with a psychopath that has variable empathy and they're actually able to get into somebody's head and they know what you want to hear. Those are the successful people. The stupid, less talented psychopathic people don't have variable empathy. So they can only describe two brains to you, their own and the suckers that they take advantage of. So when they start analyzing people, they project onto you. They give you exactly what they would do, which is usually the craziest, most psychotic, backstabbing shit, or they describe a total retard. So they can only describe like their own audience, like what they think of their audience, the retards that fund them, or they describe themselves. So it's either like this master, what they think is like a super evil mastermind, or an idiot. And that's it. It's either one or the other.
Dude.
So it's the most useless fucking commentary ever. It's so useless to you. The only time they're ever right is when they're talking about someone exactly like them.
Like Ethan?
Ethan's got empathy.
You like
So, yeah, maybe
Ethan. You're an Ethan guy.
I do.
What the hell?
kind of
Yeah.
like Ethan. Yeah, I'm
Nerd,
friends with
nerd.
Ethan.
You went on a big thing, but you're an Ethan guy.
I'm an Ethan guy. Ethan has some empathy. He's able to put
No
himself
way.
in
What-
someone
what-
else's shoes.
Dude, what do you think he's empathetic about?
Oh man, let's see. Going back in the lore, it's like when, let me think. You even heard it on, maybe you heard it in that clip the other day that Yeet posted, where he was like, you know, I had a little sympathy in my heart. Now, sympathy and empathy are different, but he was like, no, I had a little, I had space in my heart to maybe let these people do some creative settlements, you know, like maybe something funny. But now that I see that they're so recalcitrant, they're playing all these shitty games, refusing to receive the what was it? Refusing to be served at the door, pretending they weren't home, you know, playing these fucking Mickey Mouse bullshit.
That's badass.
He's like, no, that's fucking lame. I hope that he sues every Redditor individually.
Dude, come on, why?
It's about time a mob like that got broken up into individuals and zoomed in on right
Are
away.
you serious?
They're all lying. They're
Are you
lying
serious? Let them
Yeah,
lie.
I'm completely serious. I want more lawsuits of Reddit.
Come on, dude, you sound serious.
Every Reddit full of fucking lies. So like the problem with that subreddit, well, the problem with YouTube drama is like they're lying about everybody and it's getting ranked #1 in Google. So for instance, like when somebody goes looking for, hey, did Nerd City upload? You get like a fucking thread on YouTube drama where everybody's lying. And that's happening to fucking everybody. Like Mr. Beast spoke out about it first. It was almost like he broke the chill.
This is like Netanyahu today being like all of the pictures you see of the dead Gazan children and any information you see of these kids starving, they're bots. Come on, come
No,
on.
it's not. No, it's not. Because what happens is if you go into one of these threads where they're like, Mr. Beast didn't help people fucking get their eyesight back. He didn't give them clean water. He actually gave them poop water, and he took their eyeballs out of their heads. Whatever the fuck they're saying.
But here's the thing. I totally get that.
If you reply in the comments, and you're like, hey, I don't think this is when I knew that they were insane. When they were saying that what's his name? The guy that does the horror movie stuff, Wendigoon, really nice guy, super, like no one has anything bad to say about this guy. Now, I hope I don't eat these words later, but Wendigoon seems like a really nice guy. And when he got unfairly criticized, he kind of was like, hey, you know, don't go bother this guy. Like, yeah, he said some unfair things, but it's okay. You know, like I'm over it. He was really nice about it. He did not like try to be vindictive or shitty or whatever. He seems nice even in drama. But they're saying about him, like, he's a Nazi. he's a white supremacist.
Yeah, but what's that changing? What's that changing? What's that changing?
What is that? Well, the kind of thing that would affect is like who would work with you. Like, you know, if you were on the verge of becoming professional, which it wasn't that long ago that Wendigoon was, you know, like he just popped up during COVID or something, I think. If you were on the verge of like starting to be able to do this for a living and you're trying to get sponsors just, they're looking for someone who's not going to give them any trouble.
Yeah, but
you know,
we gotta trust that the people with money and people that are able to make decisions to work with internet creators, we got to trust that they're going to be able to decipher and recognize bullshit Reddit posts. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother battle, man, because they're like, just look around. The sponsors are not like they used to be. You know, there's only like incredibly based, weird, like sort of homebrewed sponsors. And then the normal ones that were around all the time, you know, like Skillshare, those kind of people, they're just like not doing ads for anybody because there's like no one who isn't canceled.
Willie got an ad today for a wallet. That's just
Ridge wallet or something?
Dude, it wasn't Ridge. It was like another bullshit like black lower class sort of shit, like just junk that like you would see in a bin at like a bargain store. Junk.
Listen, the trajectory we should have been on is that by now, like there should be ads for like Nike or something in these in the big videos. There should be Fortune 500 companies that are doing influencer marketing.
But there's no more big videos.
Smears, the endless reputation damage and smears makes Fortune 500 companies go, yeah, okay. Like the younger people in those offices are like, hey, we're throwing money away doing newspapers and TV. No one's watching that. You should throw some money at, and then they rattle off a bunch of Twitch streamers and YouTubers. But then they Google it and they're like, ooh, they're all Nazis.
I don't know if I agree with that, dude. I don't know if I agree with that because to me it's like what? Like a big YouTube video is like what? Maybe a couple million nowadays? Unless it's like a Mr. Beast or some shit and like a Twitch streamer.
What they would do is bundle a bunch of them together and then they would have a big campaign where they throw like, you know, fucking $3 million into the campaign to a middleman. The middleman places it with, you know, dozens of YouTubers. It splits it all up. They don't even necessarily have a relationship with the YouTuber. But what they're worried about is that one of them is a landmine where a bunch of people on Twitter are like, hey, did you know that this person's supporting a genocide? And they're just like completely blowing some bullshit out. You know, like someone who's like 99% on the same page as the people that are complaining about it is getting smeared as supporting a genocide. You know, like the companies don't want, they're like, ah, fuck that. And that's really what it is. It's about like brand protection.
Have you ever made out
anyway,
with
Reddit is fucking all of that up, and it's fucking.
You got to get off Reddit. It's not good for you mentally.
I'm not on Reddit. I don't use it. I barely ever open it. I open it when Google basically like tricks me into clicking something because I'm trying to just figure out. I don't know.
Do you get a lot of hate on Reddit? You don't like Reddit. You hate it.
I do not. I used to love Reddit. In fact, like some of my early videos, I would talk about, oh, it's a great place to market. It's, you know, it's got its quirks where you can't ever say that it's actually your thing you're talking about. You have to pretend your dad made it, whatever. You know, like I figured out this sort of like, you know, the weird anti-capitalist side of it, but it was balanced by by people who cared about what was true. And now that's not right. Like if you go correct anything on Reddit that goes against their narrative, like let's say the front page,
I've never done this. I don't even have a Reddit account. I'm not even kidding. I've never been on Reddit. I don't know about it.
Well, so what happened in the past few years is that, all right, so basically like Google is running into this problem where they need proof of humanity on who made a web page or a post, because AI is letting people, it's dropped the cost of pumping out text to like almost nothing. So you can host like 1 million pages that have got a bunch of shit that no person wrote. You don't even have to hire Indians to write a bunch of stuff. You just get the AI to do it. So what they needed was human curated stuff.
Easy now.
Proof of humanity in the post. And Reddit was doing kind of a good job with that still. So they signed a deal with Reddit to basically, number one, train AI on it, and then I think to be scraping more and more of their data.
Does that piss you off? Does that piss you the fuck off? That must piss you the fuck off.
It didn't at first. No, it didn't at first. But what basically the problem, the booby trap in that, is that it empowered like the 1 to 3% of the audience for every single YouTuber to put a smear campaign at fucking spot number 1, page 1 ranking for their name.
You sound like Ethan. I'm worried about you. You sound like Ethan.
On the right track.
You sound like Ethan.
Ethan's on the right track, buddy.
No.
I laughed so hard at his last video where he basically announced he'd trapped all the communists. I thought that was fantastic. I sent him a message. I'm like, I haven't laughed this hard in months. I thought that was great.
Dude, I have to read you a comment from Jesse because it's a good point. Jesse, you know, I like Jesse. He makes good points. Jesse's a fellow thought leader like myself and you, nerd, and Nikandros and Hippleton. Well, you have a bright
Jesse's
future.
chaotic evil, but
He
I
said,
respect Jesse.
he
Go
said,
ahead.
Nerd's rant is the result of buildup from not doing videos. This guy is the guy who needs an outlet.
Well, I could pop off like this anytime. That's the other fucking thing is people think because I explain things in a patient way that I don't get mad. I feel like you haven't really been paying attention because like the videos are me being mad about something. You know, like there's an alter ego that's half of my personality. So when they hear me like say something mean, they're like, "Ew, I thought he was nice." I'm nice and mean, like everybody. You know, like when something is bad, it makes me mad. And what makes me mad in particular is lying. You know, and it's not criticism.
But don't you
I
think?
like a correct piece of criticism. I don't like a lie.
Well, how would you overall grade my criticism on things?
Well, it's hallucinatory a little bit. You know, it's kind of like Tim Dillon. It's like you go for the joke. You lunge right for it. I think as Red Bar says, it's like you see the joke and you zoom right in. You see where the funny is. And that's different than somebody like Willie Mack, who you trust is bringing receipts and telling you how it really is. You're not really doing that. You're kind of being like, what if it's like this, you know? And that's funny. I like that.
Sure. Good. All right, Nikandros, it's your turn. Tell me something good about me.
Well, I do like your Mutahar stuff, but I don't really know much about a lot of these commentary people. I'm afraid.
No, it's about me. It's just about me. This is just
good.
about me, not about commentary people. You know me well enough where we talked on this call. Even if you only know the information of this call, you know anything else, just say one good thing. This is good.
Stop it, Salvo. You're like, enough about Reddit. Tell me a little bit more about me.
More hosts need to be doing. Okay. So how about this, nerd? Have you ever?
I'll transition it back to Nikandros. Nikandros, what do you think about the state of Reddit? Like, have you noticed?
No, I can't talk about Reddit. I don't even have Reddit. This is like this is like you guys talking about a TV show that I haven't seen. I need to be included. Nick.
Okay.
I can't really talk about Reddit either. Don't really know much what's going on there.
Nikandros isn't on Reddit, Nerd City. He's 6'7". He's fucking.
Are you on Google? It's the top of Google. It's Google number 2. It goes Wikipedia, Reddit, usually for everything.
Dude, why aren't you more active on YouTube?
Sue everyone.
Why aren't you more active on YouTube? Are you a perfectionist? I would like to wait. I want to pitch something to you, nerd. I wanna follow you around for 24 hours with the camera.
I'm working. I'm making videos. I just don't show anybody. Just make them until I like them, and I show them to Nikki and a couple other people, and I'm like, I'll put that away.
Really? Okay, so you are a perfectionist and you're very self-critical?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, and I do actually value from people that I respect. You know, people who can make something that I like. I like to show them things that I do, and then they tell me things that I fucked up, and I go, oh, you're right, and I fix that, you know. There has been this fake narrative out there spread by fat people, stupid psychopaths. There have been a bunch of giggly fat people out there, drunk, giggly, candy-licking, Fortnite playing fatsos.
Is this Diorio? Are you about to rant about Diorio?
We sit there all day long, basically just, you know, fantasizing about how anyone who has ever been complimented around them is somehow bad, and then they start telling you the opposite of what is true.
Here's the thing, nerd. I'm a Diorio guy. You're an Ethan guy now. Diorio's earned my respect a little bit.
I'm gonna puke.
Hey, dude, real recognize real. Game recognize game.
Gay does recognize gay.
Game. G-M-E. Game recognize game. Like, I'm a Nick guy. And I will... Hey, my criticism of him, valid.
I think this
True.
is an op.
This is
Salvo.
not an op.
I think
this is not a nerd.
Yes, it is.
This is no. The people in my life, I've spoken about this to my therapist, okay, and I'll bring her on and she can corroborate me. I'm serious.
All right, let's rewind a little bit then, Salvo. Why don't you have a YouTube channel?
I do. I'm
Other
on
than
it
this
right
one.
now.
What
I'm
happened
on
to-
my
What
YouTube.
happened to the other one? Why do people have to re-upload your content?
That-
What happened
okay.
to that one?
I understand. Listen, I understand. Like.
Those are your enemies for the rest of your life. Those are not people that you think are cool.
Some of- no,
ever.
no,
and
the-
that's why this is an op.
I have
You're
no,
gonna get your
no.
sweet revenge.
I have
Salvo Pancake sends his regards.
no. I have
You'll get 'em.
I have one lifelong enemy from that situation, and his name is Keemstar. I will say that Keemstar it's on site with Keem. If I ever see Keem in person, I will be. I don't.
You know what?
I will. I'm
Let me
going.
push back against that. Out of all of those people, I feel like Keemstar kind of slow walked the attempt to expose you. I feel like he didn't want to do that, but something
What
crossed
do you
the
mean?
line where he's like, okay,
He
this
started
guy's
the
been going
live
against
stream.
me.
It was his first live stream. He
I
started
think
it all.
he's an opportunist. I think
For
You know,
sure.
Obviously, not I think.
Nah,
Obviously, he's
Keemstar.
an
No.
opportunist.
I was so socially on YouTube, and in my real life tied to Keemstar in that situation, and he is he. You know what I mean? It's like nah. It's 100% him, and it's on site with him. I promise. I promise.
I think with Keemstar, you know, like you
But
did something
what I'm
that
saying,
offended
I don't want
him.
to talk about
You
that.
did, like
I didn't do
there's
anything.
But there's something you did that crossed the line with him, where he was like, okay, now I gotta,
Do you know
take
what
this
that
dog
was?
out back and shoot him.
Do you know? I quit the show because I could talk as much shit as I wanted to as long as I stayed on the show. But I quit the show, and because it was a disadvantage in every aspect. It was what I was doing, the time I was dedicating, the effort I was dedicating to be treated so badly. So I'm not doing it, and I quit the fucking show. So that's what happened. He knew if I quit the show would collapse because all he had was Brantley and Chris the Narc. And despite how much Keemstar likes to act like he's working on his shows and he's not. He's Mr. Delegate. Delegate it. That's the hard work. It's like when he's bitching about hard work, he's on the phone yelling at someone for not doing their job. So it's no. With Diorio, I don't hold anything. I don't hold anything against him for how he acted. It just made me recognize, and Diorio's smart, and he's a gamer. Gamer mean not video games. I don't respect that. I don't respect gaming for video games. I mean gamer.
He plays pinball. He plays Fortnite.
No,
He's a
I
real
don't. I don't like that. I don't like that. I mean more of he shows up when it matters.
You mean like he does whatever gives him a small burst of dopamine in the moment? Tweets 150 fucking times a day. I don't respect those guys. Willie Mack became one of those guys. I remember a point where I thought Willie was going to be a good commentary guy. He's just completely addicted to Twitter at this point. I remember the criticism of Bunty back in the day was, and I saw this in person. I would criticize him for this. I'd be like, dude, put your phone down. Like, stop, like, get off of Twitter. We were at, I'd see him at VidCon. I was introducing him to other people, like, hey, this is Bunty, this is so-and-so. And he would be like, he wouldn't even look up. He was like so into Twitter. And I think at that point he was tweeting 90 times a day. And these guys are like, they're tweeting like 120, 150 times a day. So that's like, that's an addict of the quickest response platform, the immediate, oh, look, I'm getting acknowledgement. I'm getting likes. That's fucking lame.
Nikandros, do you think Mutahar actually made out with his best friend?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Did you hear my take on it? I did not.
Well,
what was it?
Well, you're missing out because it was original. So
Well,
I think it's a lot.
Did you see the clip of him like drunk in the house with Nexpo and saying like, "Oh, we'll do something later" or whatever?
No,
Yeah, I saw that.
I need to see that.
That was in
Is
like a
that
Harmful
part-
Opinions video.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It was
don't.
some like live stream.
It takes a lot for me to watch
suck your
commentary.
dick, I don't even remember it.
I
And
don't watch a lot of commentary.
just to clarify real quick, the guy that he made out with in that story wasn't Nexpo. It was some other guy named Ryan.
Just the same name by coincidence.
Same name by coincidence. The timelines didn't add up. That's why Harmful Opinions ended up unlisting his video, and he like issued like a retraction/correction.
Right. So it's all a lie. He didn't. He's not making out with anybody. No one's that desperate. You don't make out with your guy best friend for so many years.
Salvo, you can't say that. Didn't you make out with fucking Edwin?
I kissed Edwin, and it was for charity, and I knew Edwin only for a couple months. He's not my guy best friend for years.
When nobody asked. Yeah,
Nobody asked. What do you mean? We were doing it for your guy.
You're like, do you dare me to kiss Edwin? Yeah.
No, you're watching. You got the red bar narrative on that one, there, buddy. That's not what happened. You got to come to source material.
I was watching your show.
I was
watching you diffuse tension by lap dancing someone. Someone was like, "Fuck these guys," and you were like dancing in front of them, giving them a lap dance.
No,
I mean,
no.
Yes, you have that.
I didn't do any of that. I did kiss Edwin, but that was for charity, and it was an awesome moment to end the year of an awesome year on YouTube. So. But that's my point. I said my whole criticism is he kissed a guy, supposedly he kissed his best friend. That's the weird part to me. Kissing a guy that you don't really know for charity, sure. Kissing a tiny, smoothless twink at the club when you're high on poppers and you're making out and you're pinning each other against the wall, sure. I understand that. That seems like it's more probable than making out with your guy best friend. That's bullshit, and it proves he doesn't even have a guy best friend because he doesn't even know that vibe.
I feel like in any large group of friends or medium-sized group of friends, any team I've ever been on, any like fucking place I've worked, there always seems to be like one guy who has a girlfriend who's straight most of the time, but then when he gets drunk, he starts being like, bi-curious or whatever. That's what Mutahar sounded like in that video, where he's like, "Oh, maybe later maybe later we'll give each other a smooch and test it out or whatever."
That's how you know that this freedom of sex has gone too far. Like this whole 25 years of like sexual liberation has gone too far. People like Mutahar.
Salvo says 2025, get back in the closet.
People like Mutahar, one, are comfortable enough to even have a desire that's not masturbating alone at his computer screen in the dark. Like that. That's the extent of the.
You're not even telling Mutahar to get back in the closet. You're saying he's pretending that he even would be in there. You don't even think he's being gay for clout.
I think he's being gay for clout because everything that he does always, even his job, even his like every lie aligns up with like the society times. The fucking like the engineer thing started 10 years ago when learn to coding, computer engineering, and like it tapered off when AI started to take over the engineering jobs and everyone looked at the engineering field as a dead field, right? That's kind of when it tapered off. When Mutahar's talking about making out with his guy best friend, what year is that? Was it a couple years?
If I had to speculate, I think I'm kind of rewinding this a bit. If I had to speculate a little bit, and I could just ask him this, but if he answered this, it could become a problem, I think. But if I had to guess, I think that Mutahar did work in a capacity where you could call the title an engineer. And the thing is, like, he's
like IT.
Or it might have engineer in the title.
Like IT.
He has a sense of like IT, and maybe like the most flattering interpretation of the position could be something that includes the word engineer. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he wasn't really aware of it. Well, now I'm getting into too much speculation.
No. You're on the right program, nerd. This is what we do, man. We speculate here. We create.
Well, I get it. When I get out over my skis with, imagining things or being open to ideas, people who can't do that start going, "Did you hear what he said? Did you
Is that Diorio? Is that Diorio again? Is that Diorio again?" Dude, I'm telling you, you gotta practice to learn to change your perspective on Nicholas. You know what I mean? He's not the same kid he was years ago. He's not.
Oh, that's exactly what Keemstar said to me. And yes, he is. So anyone that it's basically, you know how I just said it's an op, you being nice to him? Everything with him is an op. Look at this group of friends he has. At one point, they commissioned something called the Goon Squad. And it was like, who was in the Goon Squad? It was like Tipster, Bo Blacks, Diorio.
Yeah.
On the RFC. And now they're all, and Willie Mack or Tommy, whatever, now they're all like, they've all stabbed each other in the back at different times. Like, that's fucking, it's an op. Like, they're not actually
and look
friends.
who's
They just,
standing.
like, get
And
jealous
look who's
of each
standing.
other.
And look who's standing. You got to recognize
None
his
of them.
power. Diorio's standing. You got to recognize his power, bro. Look who's standing. He did it. He did it. Hey.
Did what? Made $50,000 in 1 year? Congratulations, fatso.
Dude, but you know, he ensured, he did what he had to do to eliminate what he deemed as competition or threats one way or the other. We've seen it through John Swan, through Flamenco, through Salvo Pancakes, through Nerd City, through Bo Blacks, through Tipster, through, I think, soon, Willie Mack. He did what he had to do to preserve himself. And for that, I respect it. For that, I understand. For that, game recognized game. And here on the channel, unless it's perfect criticism, this is fun drama, better analysis. That's the slogan. I'm trade walking it. I won't have a bad thing to say about him unless it's deemed necessary out of principle.
Let me give you better advice then. Salvo, quit looking at those retards and look up at people who actually are successful. Surround yourself with people who are successful.
I don't look up at them, nerd. Okay, that's it. So you think I'm looking up to them?
At your toes and picking at the people in between them.
That's so insulting. That's so insulting on my program. In my house.
Fuck you over and try to like get your fucking channel taken down again. Leak
I'm
your
not
DMs,
worried about that. I'm staying in
expose
my
your
own
fucking-
lane. What I cover on my channel is I'm not covering
your
Dork.
lane. You're trying to force everybody to say the names of these retards who are going to get caught too. Like
I'm not even
little kicker
covering
bushes
them.
When you walk
I'm
through a
not
field
covering
full of-
Diori.
like a junkyard.
This isn't about them. This is about the biggest YouTube story going on right now. It is Mutahar. It is Willie Mack. That extends to the Kleins, your boy, Ethan. That extends to Ethan.
Well,
the
I'm
Willie.
fine with refocusing on people who are successful. So, you know, the one thing you can say about Mutahar is that
it's harder than you
really
think. No. I need to say something. I agree with what you're saying. No pushback at all. But also, this day in YouTube, if I had an audience, if I had the huge built-up channel on YouTube of 100 and 200, 300, 400,000 subscribers, that opens the door for real, a little more. I got to get eyes, action, foot traffic. And this is the drama that is happening on YouTube. It is, but I'm covering big things. Tomorrow on my channel, I'm talking about something that that more people need to be talking about. It's a teacher that fucked her student, but she's hot, and I think it's okay because
careful with the horny topic, Salvo. Don't fucking open up that Pandora's box again.
I haven't been horny. This is actually something that I've said recently. This past year has been the least horny I've ever been.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
it is.
On your last show, you were like, "We've got one of Destiny's victims calling in. She wants me." It's like, Jesus Christ.
She does. She does.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that stream where FouseyTube was live streaming and he's like macking on this girl in an airport, and she's like, "I was sexually trafficked. I was sex trafficked. I was abused." And he's like, "Let's go in the bathroom and make out." Like, that's you. Don't do that.
That is not me. That is assault. No. That is not me at all. Making jokes about a girl online is so different than taking advantage of someone at an airport. Nerd City? Come on, man. Nikandros, for the record, hold on. We have the 6'7" arbiter of truth here. Do you think Nerd City's comparison to how FouseyTube treated that sex traffic victim is the same as claiming correctly
0% chance he knows this reference.
Claiming
There's no way.
He's smart kid. Don't underestimate the guy. Claiming
I
that
just feel like he's got better things
I'm gonna
to do
say
than
I don't know
be
the
that
reference.
online. I knew it.
You're just mad at me because I'm a Oreo guy now.
I am mad at you that you would say anything like that. I think that's crazy. I think you should not admire people who
I
end up
don't
with the
admire
bag because
him.
they killed all their friends to do it.
I do
don't
not admire
that.
him. I'm a guy who
If you set up an organization of a bunch of paper boys and it's like, oh, we're gonna do this together, and then you just basically shoot them all in the back of the head and take their money. That's not like, hey, you gotta respect the grind. No, it's what a little piece of shit.
Nerd, I'm a guy who is in the business of building bridges, not dams.
Well, I like the sound of that, but I'm not sure I believe it. I think your show is all about burning them in the most hilarious way possible.
Not really, because I'm not connected personally to anybody on YouTube really in that sphere. I'm pretty isolated in myself. You know what I mean? So I'm not, and also what I'm talking about is very timely, and anybody in this field who is in the business of reacting and commentating about YouTube internet stuff, if you're not covering this, what the fuck are you covering? What the fuck are you covering?
Now that I think about it, you are kind of like that guy, right? Because you were friends with the Pauls, and then one of their friends is Big Mike, and you started your investigative career by fucking over Big Mike. So like that was potentially a networking bridge, but you set it on fire because it was an opportunity. You are a pragmatic gamer.
No, I didn't set any. Well, I might have hurt my chances long term. I'm still cool with Jake Paul. I talked to Jake Paul. I shouldn't say that, but I do. He's my friend. I went to high school. I went to high school with the Pauls. No.
Than you saying your friend drama streamers.
I've been covering.
I can forgive you being friends with the boxer Jake Paul.
No. I've been covering. Logan knew this. I've been covering the Pauls on a podcast way before I started to stream on YouTube. You know what I mean? He knows my criticism, and I was closer to Jake in high school than Logan, anyways. And
half the Pauls can't stand Big Mike anyway, right? It's
well, dude, that's the thing. I didn't start by burning any bridges. I wasn't that close. Logan was a millionaire superstar, A-lister in YouTube. We were in totally different, separate areas of our life. Big Mike, people don't know this story because it was my first story on YouTube that I think is still a big story. Big Mike, it's long story short.
Save it for another stream.
Yeah. But I didn't burn any bridge. Maybe, but I'm not a guy. I would never reach out to the Pauls. It's like the last time I saw Logan was he did 1 year at Ohio University before he said, I'm done. I'm moving to LA. I went down to visit my friend because Logan graduated from the same class as I, right? So we were in the same circles, right? So when I went down to visit my friend at Ohio University, this was 2014. Right, that was the last time I saw Logan before he went to Hollywood. So it's I was so removed. I haven't, Jake still followed me on Instagram.
Aren't you? You're still getting tickets to boxing events. You went to his fake wedding, stuff like that, right?
I went to Jake Paul's fake wedding when he married Tana Mogo. True. I mean, that's years. That's like 10 years ago at this point. Boxing tickets. If I reach out, yeah. My whole point is I'm not gonna reach out to cash that ticket. I know people who did. I went to school with people who did cash that ticket, and God bless him. God bless all those people that I went to high school with that cashed that ticket on the Pauls, right? Good for them. Some none of them made it.
To put a bow on the whole backstabbing thing, because it's where am I going with that? What I would say about you and drama streaming is that if you continue to go down this line where you're talking about those guys and you're talking to other live streamers and other drama channels and having them on, is there ends up being a market need for drama faster than the drama community can naturally make it. So you end up getting captured by your chat.
That's not true, dude. I don't stream like those idiots. I don't stream like those idiots, though. I'm not sitting. You know this. I'm not firing up a live stream with just a docket of links and just watching videos every single day. I'm going live twice a week so far, right? Twice a week. And, I make a docket. Hippleton has seen it. It's an organized, detailed, specific docket that I try to make around 2 hours. Specifically because I agree with you. to specifically not fall into that hole. Trust
Very
me,
good.
it would be beneficial to my channel technically, numbers wise, if every single day I came here and I streamed and I had fuck shit to say, but I knew I could stream and watch a video, and my channel would
I
grow.
think you want quality over quantity. On
Yeah,
your
of
audience.
course,
So,
I agree with that.
Jesse PS probably streams to like, I don't know, let's say low thousands, maybe hundreds of people. Red Bar streams to, he's got hundreds of people in his chat, you know, maybe low thousands in Scars Club, and they're making like the best shows. So, you know, like there is a way to make a living off of this where the numbers don't reflect it, but where you are actually making like the best content that everybody respects.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
How about you trust
don't
me on that? How about you trust me that I'm capable, and I'm excited to show you, nerd, because it's like what? You think I'm gonna be some fucking jagoff, like fucking some idiot on fucking stream talk?
Hosting
Not
a live
me.
debate show
Not
called
me.
Fireball, where
Not-
a bunch of like people named Zing Zing and Star Scraper and Xylee and like fucking names that sound like Transformer fucking
nerd.
rejects.
Oh,
They're
nerd.
calling into
Oh,
debate.
nerd.
Don't do that.
Nerd. You
They
have
will
to
drag you
understand.
back-
Hey,
they'll drag you back
if
down.
I had access to Pyro Cynical and Moist Critical as well, I would invite them on. But I wasn't at that level, and I've never been at that level. So yeah.
Okay, well, this is part of the point I'm making. Is
Yeah.
somebody like that, okay? Now, I have obviously, like, I've started to bitch about Pyro publicly because I became unhappy working with him, okay? So, like, I don't like that relationship anymore. But people like that, you know, people who end up with, you know, like they're employing multiple people, they have millions of subscribers, they're making a lot of income, they start to have a lot to lose. They end up having concerns for people other than themselves. They look at someone who can't not leak DMs, someone who has backstabbed everybody, someone who races to live stream as soon as they get mentioned, you know, like it, and then do a huge expose with a big lie, a big fucking clickbait title or whatever. They look at somebody like that and they're like, I'm not going anywhere near that. And somebody that plays it straight and tells the truth and doesn't fucking lie can get into those circles. That's how I did it, right? I didn't lie about fucking everybody on my own level. So anyway, that's the problem. I don't respect somebody that fucking gets in fights with everybody next to them, lies about them, backstabs them, is an opportunist. I think that kind of shit is like dead end bug fights in a jar, a shaken up jar full of bugs. Like there's just such a bigger world out there.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And
what's different about you, Salvo, is that you are a natural, you have an it factor, you have a natural talent, you're good on camera, you look good, you can dance, you're multi-talented, you know what good music is, you know how to make something aesthetically pleasing, you can do good graphics, you're kind of like, you know, you're a multi-talent sort of utility talent, you know? Those other guys don't have that.
Yeah, I'm
They're
the
jealous
fucking
of it.
GOAT, bro. I'm the fucking
They're
GOAT. You
jealous
think
of
I'm gonna
it.
put out some fucking whack ass fucking run of the mill product? Come on, man.
Even just your header for your new channel looks good. It looks better than any of the fucking retarded shit that they do.
Who's they?
Fatso, sitting in an imaginary throne, imagining he's some sort of
Come on,
fucking
nerd. You gotta
Italian
let him go.
god.
You gotta let that go. You gotta let that go.
Say his name, nerd. Say his name.
Big meatball eating fatso who sits on Discord all day long.
He's lost a lot of
gossiping like a
weight. He's
bitch.
lost a lot of weight, nerd.
That one.
He's
That
lost a
one.
lot
the
of
one
weight.
That commissions art where he imagines that he's the people who other people admire.
Right. Here's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
It's a joke.
Here's
No,
the
it's
thing.
You're imagining that you're people who others admire. That's what that is. So no, I don't think that is someone who, you know, we respect the game. I think that is a fucking loser's game, and you should stay away from it.
Okay, here's the thing. I agree with that, but
Thank you for allowing
you
me to
also
speak.
you need to understand kind of the momentum, the monumental thing that I was able to do with Fireball. I didn't really have a big following, but I was able to connect so many corners of the internet together with people that would never be in calls together and have them be in a call and compete in silly games. I'm sorry. It was absolutely how I constructed the roster.
Yeah, they're shitty, man. They're shitty. Like I thought Joe Dingles, I thought that she was like a nice person. Colossal made her an admin on his Discord. And then I finally today, because I like joked on Twitter that I should, kick them while they're down, because that's what they did. That's what they tried to do to me, imagining I was down. So fucking Joe Dingles, I listened to her little appearance where she pretended to be an expert on the way that I think. She did exactly the same thing I was describing earlier, where she described herself. She described a person who is transactional, who only basically.
Wait, what did she do? What did she do?
She calls into a shitty fucking stream that is basically like reading the inspect element fake fucking comments that some of them that people made on like another server using my name. She calls into a stream like that and starts saying complaining that I didn't, complaining that I asked her why she was tweeting about tipsters so much. If anything, that was a sanity check to you, Joe Dingles, because you were tweeting every day about tipster. So I started to think I don't want this on my timeline. I'm going to unfollow this person. But you know what? They've been kind of cool to me. Let me just see, why are they doing that? So yeah, I reached out and I'm like, who cares? Who cares if tipster lied about eating a fucking hoagie when he really,
It's funny. It's funny to make fun of the fat guy, nerd.
Yeah, it is, but then there's also being obsessive about it, where you're just doing it every single day, multiple times a day, and it's okay, let the guy go. What did he do that was so wrong? I mean, First of all, I hate that guy. He's one of them. He's the worst of them.
Come on.
Anything bad you want to happen to him, that's fine. But it was not entertaining. It was not entertaining. Her little memes about him, they weren't that good, and it seemed obsessive. It's
come
what
on,
did he
man.
Do to piss
hey,
you off?
you gotta let the hate go with tipster. He's too irrelevant for anything. And don't you kind of pity him in a way?
That was kind of my point. That was kind of my point. So I said that to her. Anyway, the way that she recharacterized that was that I was trying to, that I was just so judgmental and I just came off really gross.
Nerd,
and it's I was actually judging
1 second.
you. I'm why are you talking about that retard all the time? It
1
makes you
second.
seem like you're a retard.
1 second.
We just got raided.
Yeah, we just got raided. I do want to say hello to the AIDS gang. AIDS gang's in the house, everybody. Everyone wave to the AIDS gang. That's right. Aiden's pretty cool. Thanks for the raid there. Right now, I've been live for a few hours. I have Nikandros, who's the architect of the Mutahar sort of downfall here. Nick, say hello to the AIDS gang. And
hello, AIDS gang.
Guys, say a sentence. I want them to hear your voice, Nick.
What kind of sentence?
Introduce yourself. Just introduce yourself.
Do you think that's a real voice, or do you think that's AI? We can't figure it out.
No, it's definitely his real voice.
He keeps saying things on a delay. We think it might be AI.
No, he's 6'7". It fits his 6'7"
he's
frame.
6'7".
That voice does.
And I know Aiden has lots of ladies in the chat. No, he's 6'7". I know Aiden has lots of ladies in the chat because every time I go on an Aiden stream, I get so many DMs. So it's interesting. That's how I know. They go, oh my god, a guy who is semi-attractive, It's like these girls who turn into these commentary streams. I go on their stream and it's like they haven't seen anyone like me forever. Nikandros, ladies, he's 6'7" and he's got massive hands and he works with his hands. He actually cuts wood all day in the forest.
Not really.
His hands are calloused.
He's an ant.
Yeah, he's and we also have Nerd City in the house. Nerd City, say hello.
Hey, Aiden, how's it going? I know him.
Aiden's awesome. Do you like Aiden? Because you've been bitching tonight. You've been bitching about Diorio. I'm trying to tell you to lighten up on him. He's changed. He's cool. Game respect game. How about Aiden?
Yeah, wrong. So Aiden, I've got no problem with yet, but he's one of these guys that does call into their streams like, "Hey, I got something for you, boss." So I don't know. Maybe he's cool. Maybe he's not.
He's probably sent a lot of clips and dirt to streamers who were streaming about you shitting on you. He's probably played that part more, like the behind the scenes. Ask him about this one.
Probably. Well, that's a shame because I remember how he started. He got the Keemstar Drama Alert boost, which was probably bots or something, which was not a nice thing to do to an up-and-coming YouTuber.
Yeah, it kind of hazed him. It hazed him a little bit. So awesome for the raid. We're kind of sitting around at this point, shooting the shit. Nikandros, long time no talk. You know, Nerd and I kind of been going back and forth. I appreciate you kind of sticking on here. Do you think
we drifted away from
and that's okay, and that's okay. But I'm gonna bring it back to Mutahar here. I'm gonna bring it back to Mutahar here for a second. So after you made the expose on him, claiming that he's a fake engineer and he's lying, Harmful Opinions released the clip on him being gay, but then someone on Twitter because Hassan Piker reacted to it. Remember when Mutahar claimed he donated $200,000? Is there any way is there proof of that? Because he's claiming that he donated $200,000. Can you pull it up and we can watch it on your end, Himpleton?
Probably gave away $200,000 of charity.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe podcast with Mutahar.
He claimed that he's donated $200,000 to COVID or something. I can drop it
during COVID, I believe.
During COVID, but $200,000 is a lot of money.
The video's name is like Indians Have No Riz, I believe. Unsubscribe podcast if you want to find it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll work on that right now.
No, I got the link right here, Himpleton. I'm gonna DM it to you.
Okay. Send me that link.
Yeah, no, I got it right here. But
so don't write any of this off.
Hassan Piker reacted to it today, and like I'm sitting here being like, Mutahar's claiming that he donated $200,000, right? And he didn't do any charity write-backs or anything like that. And I'm like, he didn't write it off. He made a big deal about not writing it off. The criticism in the tweet that Yeet had was that obviously was against Hassan Piker, as everything is on the internet nowadays, right? Everything is anti-Hassan Piker. Mm-hmm. Hassan Piker said that 200 grand is tiny. But I'm sitting there being like, there's no fucking way Mutahar donated $200,000 out of his own pocket, he said. And to fucking donate during COVID. Is there any proof of this? This is like another big lie, because especially if you're not like an engineer or you don't, it really seems like at this point you never had anything steady. I DM'd it to you, Himpleton, if you want to pull it up here. On Twitter.
The biggest problem, like the biggest red line in there is like the claim that he didn't write it off, or claim that writing off your charitable donations is like a shitty thing to do. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like that's like a moron opinion. People that have never handled money, people that don't understand like how basic accounting works, they think like, oh, if you write off a donation, it lowers your like taxes in such a manner that you make money, like you make profit from that somehow. That's what they think, writing off charitable donations means. But what it really means is that you have a certain amount of money coming in. That's your taxable income. You donate 10K, 10 grand, and then your taxable income, lowers by 10K, and that's it.
Sure.
So, you're like, you can donate more money if you write it off.
Exactly, right. Exactly. That's the whole incentive that the fucking government allows you to do. Himpleton, if you want to play this clip, this is the clip going around. Ignore Piker's take, but I want you guys to hear him actually say out loud that he donated $200,000 out of his pocket.
All right, here we go.
Like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal.
Well, hold on, I gotta turn that up
for taxes, because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes.
Start it over, bro.
You should. Thing to do.
Right.
Yep. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Cool.
Like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal account. So I don't write any of this off for taxes, because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes. I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
Writing off charitable donations is a shitty thing.
Pause.
To do.
Right.
Why?
Like your criticism is perfect on that, but it's like that's got to be a lie. Don't you think in hindsight that's a lie here? Like, am I crazy for saying that?
I would definitely want to see proof that he donated anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's proof from the completionist, so it's like...
I mean, like the claim he makes, like, oh, if I tabulated, counted all the stuff up, like, he's already like making an estimation, which, whenever Mutahar gets into that space, he's always gonna fucking pump up the numbers. So if he donated something, he might have donated like 20 grand, let's say.
Right. That's
saying 200 grand.
Maybe 2,000.
The real number.
Maybe $2,000. maybe $2,000 because I feel like if he donated 20, he would feel confident enough to say that with his chest. But this isn't just a random stream. That was like an in-person podcast, a appearance, which higher stakes. So you know what I mean? But
and he's also lying to everyone there too, which is really funny.
Right.
But that one guy who's so impressed by him, like, oh, you do uploads daily, you do multiple 9-to-5s, you have all these business. That's so crazy, man. This is why I respect you so much. And it's like,
do we need to inform that guy?
I want to know what that guy thinks right now.
Right. It's like we need to get that information to that guy because that might hurt that guy personally.
Pretty sure they've seen the news.
He would be knifed through his fucking heart. I'll say this: it's getting late.
I feel really bad for that guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Nikandros and Nerd City go. There's a couple more things on the docket that I'll get to. But I wanna let you guys go. Nick, appreciate it, dude. I know it's late as fuck. Or early. You got up early. I appreciate it. Awesome conversation. And Nerd, absolutely. And Nerd, same thing, buddy.
See you later, man.
See you guys.
See you later.
Peace. Cool. Nikandros in Nerd City. I think that was a fantastic conversation. It is 2:00 where I'm from, and I do have a couple more things. Hippleton, do you want to keep it going? There's a couple more things on the docket that I do want to get to.
I'm here. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm a loyal man.
That's perfect. So I got something sent to me today, right? Or while I was live, Aiden, I got a tweet sent to me. I'll look at this, right? So here's what happened. Let me it's right here. All right, cool. So I get tagged in this. It goes Aiden Underground, aka Exiled Aiden, debunks Willie Mack's lie. It's a lie. It's already a lie. The narrative has been pushed out. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but the narrative has already been pushed out that it's a lie. Interesting that that's the first information that comes out of all of this, is that it's a lie. And of course they have, well, I haven't heard the take yet, but of course they have Aiden projects. Aiden, go tell him it's a lie. Dismiss this immediately. It's funny. Ultimately, it's not a big deal. I do think it's hilarious to word it in that way where they send Aiden out to immediately start a different narrative in the public. Every YouTuber sort of role plays war games, and that's what I'm doing here. So, but I guess I'll play the clip first, right? So the lie that Augie RFC left streaming because of Salvo Pancakes, doxing, harassing his family, which I'm suing, by the way, because it's in. I'm suing everybody who claims I doxed and harassed. That's not the truth. And Hippleton, I have a request. So you need to find
absolutely.
You need to find the YouTube short that I made about his mom, because that'll prove immediately it's not a dox, really, nor harassment. Sure, maybe harassment, but doxing is a little much. I know there's some freaks in chat who probably have it, right? But I'm gonna play this clip.
Last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family.
This is a lie. This is a lie, because Augie told me the exact same. Augie told me the exact same, we had the exact same conversation. I was one of the few people online Augie was talking to in the period he was gone. We had lots of I even stepped away for it. We had discussions about stepping away. And, some of this is Augie's own stuff to share. But Augie's reasons for stepping away were multifaceted, right? That was I think a contributing complaint, like maybe hitting the nail on or like a final straw maybe that broke the camel's back as to why it might not be worth it. But there were tons of reasons, including occupational reasons, including him having better prospects doing something else.
In my last conversation with Augie, he told me a story.
Okay, sure, but that doesn't change the fact, right? So what Aiden is saying, that's I believe what he's saying. Like I personally do not think that I was the sole beneficiary of Augie not streaming. You know, but Aiden admits there maybe it was a contributing factor, right? But that doesn't change the fact that Willie said that to hurt him. Willie said that to hurt Augie, in my opinion. He knew that would piss Augie off. He's fucking swinging his dick around the IDF fucking wife that, you know, he has, which is what it is. He knew Augie wouldn't like that. And that even shows malicious activity by him. That shows malicious activity by Willie. You know, like if Aiden is, I believe Aiden. I don't think he has any reason to lie, right? If Aiden's correct that no, I was also privy to this convo. It's not what happened. I believe that Aiden knows why Augie was not streaming for that long. Like I believe he would know. I believe he would know for sure. So if that's a lie, that just proves cruel intention by Willie. That just proves cruel intention that Willie's like, basically, fuck you, spin in your face. That's what it seems like to me. That's what it seems like to me. You know, Willie was also threatened and told Augie RFC to quit a couple times. It would make everybody's life a big deal. I don't know. That's pretty fucking crazy. If you're just joining, I covered Willie at the beginning of the stream. Feel free to rewind, watch my hour-and-a-half coverage on Willie Mack with new opinions that you've never heard before. Let's get into Ethan Klein. We were on Gaza Strip. Now we're going over to the West Bank. Willie's occupying the fucking Gaza Strip. Him and his wife are looking down the crowd of Palestinian people that are waiting for food, begging and pleading. Him and his wife are standing there, right? We're going to go all the way back now to the West Bank, to the Kleins. And frankly, I think it's interesting. Ethan Klein got caught saying the N-word. And
like what the vibe is.
Which in this day and age, everybody's saying the N-word. You know what I mean? It used to be just the heavyweighters, just the top dogs on the internet would say the N-word. Just the ones that would say it all and do it all, right? The top dogs. Now everybody's saying it. Obviously, Ethan has slipped up a couple times in his career, many times in his career. And that is because Ethan is actually racist. It is. Ethan is a Hollywood Jewish man. He is racist against everyone who's not Jewish. I don't think that's anti-Semite to say. I truly believe a millionaire Beverly Hills Hollywood entertainer is racist for sure. If not to everybody but Jews, definitely black people. Definitely black people. If you watch Ethan Klein over the years, you know he's classist, he's racist, moneyist, very moneyist, very moneyist. He said the N-word. And this is not the first. It's not going to be the last. I can categorically say Ethan Klein is a racist man. Now, I have tried to stop saying the N-word. Frankly,
you've tried?
Yeah, I've tried. And I've gotten a lot better at it because it's something that I don't want to. I mean, you've heard my take on it. It's tacky. It's tacky, it's cliche, and it's overplayed, and everyone's doing it now. So I'm not saying it anymore. I'm not saying it in my private life anymore, too. And I'm a 31-year-old man that grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, on an affluent side of town. Trust me, everyone I know in my life says it. Actively says it. It's a way of life. It's used as the F word, faggot, which I can say too because I'm 10% gay. so I can say that one clearly. That's just how it's used. And if you don't, and I think it's pretty obvious, any people who say differently, there are some people who don't say it, sure, but it's something I'm not saying I'm trying not to say anymore because it's just so overplayed. So it's like the Indian hate. It's like, really, we're going to hate all the Indians forever now? It's like, that's what happens. I don't know. Maybe at least X would be better with Kamala as president. Anyways, let's play this clip.
Like what the vibe is. It's Kendrick.
Oh God! Is it worth it? Man down, call an ambulance.
Why is this so low? Is this low on your end? Can you guys hear this? Okay.
There you go, Dan.
Dancing to. Like what the vibe is. It's Kendrick.
Did I fuck up the audio? I can't hear jack fucking shit. I don't know, but he's rapping Kendrick Lamar, man down, ham down, call to ambulance, there's a man down, right? Like that's the song that he is rapping to, and he added an N-word into it where it didn't need to. Now, I really wanted to hear this. Can you guys hear this? I can't hear this shit.
It's Kendrick.
Oh God! Is it worth it? Man down, call an ambulance.
Oh, right, okay. Turn that up a little bit.
Is it worth it? Man down, call an ambulance.
That's a very intentional N-word. It is. That's an intentional N-word. That's not even a slip-up of the N-word. Now, why would Ethan intentionally say the N-word? That's not a slip-up. They also, on the H3 podcast, they also have a dump button. So if they really wanted this to not get out to the public, they would have hit the dump button. But they didn't dump it. And that's an intentional N-word. And you could tell by his face. Look at his eyes when he's saying it. He's looking around.
Like what the vibe is. It's Kendrick.
And he's so dumb enough, he can't rap that quickly. Like, he's not a good rapper because he's so dumb. It's like he's all souped up on so much pills and IVs and pumped up with so much fucking speed because he's so mentally slow and such a drag and so unable to form sentences. But look how intentional that one word is. When you listen to Ethan Klein speak, his face is a deer in the headlights. Like he's almost hearing the words coming out of his mouth for the first time. Watch the H3 podcast. You can see it. He's almost like hearing the words come out for the first time. And that's why he's always in this state of like fuzziness. Not now. He's lasered in here. He's lasered up and he's fucking, he's pulling it. He's doing it.
Dancing to. Like what the vibe is. It's Kendrick.
Oh God! Is it worth it?
Salvo, whenever you're ready, we found the clip. Des specifically found the clip.
Des, round of applause for Des. Okay, put it in the, send it to me on Twitter, please. Thank you. Thank you, Des. Thank you, Himpleton. That's awesome. Right. So we'll see the clip. I'll play the, so here's Ethan with straight intention in his eyes to say the N-word. Why would he say the N-word? I think Ethan's a racist, essentially. And I think he wanted to. I don't know. He said it on purpose. Why? Possibly to fucking get a more edgier audience, or here's what it is. It's to remind everyone that there's a war going out in Gaza, and he is feeling that energy. You know what I mean? It's my whole thing. It's my whole thing that I've been trying to articulate with Ethan Klein during the war in Gaza, as he calls it, the war in Gaza. So for the war, it's where he acts very aggressive, and this is almost like a lion pissing on the rival lion tribe's baby cub. You know what I mean? What are you going to do about it, he's saying? You have a problem with it? He's untouchable. Ethan Klein thinks he's untouchable, essentially. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to pull this up. Did you send it, Himpy?
I did. It's in your DMs.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so let me pull. No,
But you got
that's
me
not
so-
it. That's not it.
That's not it?
That's not it. No, that's not it. No. What Des sent, I should have known. Des sent it in. I should have known. She doesn't. That's not it though. No, that's not it. That's not it. This is what Des sent in. This is not the clip that this is me doubling down a million times at this point. This is the clip. This is the clip that this is one of the clips. Okay, this is good, Des. Thank you for sending it in. Sure, this is good. But this is when I've already burnt the bridge with Augie, and I printed out a big picture of his mother, and I humped her. You want to watch if you don't know? You guys know I did this? I did do this. But this is part of the reason why he doesn't like me. Sure, I understand. And when he told me, I understand. All right, it's not the initial clip, but it's the picture. This is the picture. Like, he posted this picture of his mom. He's over here, but I just cropped it and blew it up really big and humped it. But the picture that he posted was this picture with his mother at Grand Canyon. And I made a YouTube short basically being like, they wear the same clothes. That's why I said, I'm like, they wear the same clothes and she's hot and I would fuck her or something. Something like that. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's about it. That's about it. Sent the video. No, yeah, that's it. So it's fucking late as shit here. All right, anything else on the docket? I don't think so. I don't
have anything.
Hamilton,
No.
how do you think that went tonight?
I think it went great. I think that both of our guests were very interesting.
You sound
You know?
tired. You sound tired.
I'm not tired.
Did I keep you up tonight?
No, I would have been up either way. I don't have work until 12 tomorrow.
That's cool. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, like and sub and follow me on Twitter. And Himpleton, what else do we have to plug here?
Join the Twitter community, okay? The 1-800-BEEF Twitter community, which is growing in numbers already, even though we just started it tonight. Join the Discord so you can get updates for when we're streaming next. All that good stuff. Apparently, I'm way too loud also.
Oh, it's fine. They'll get over it. All right, Himpleton, I appreciate you. I'm going to wind down here. I'm going to leave the call. Thank you, buddy. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Super fun stream. This Thursday, we'll be live on Thursday. Again, we have Dalton Felter from America First coming on the stream, as well as Himpleton. Did J-Stock respond?
Apparently, I messaged him on his now defunct account, but I'm getting his actual Discord that he uses now. So
cool. Awesome. Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, so trying to get J-Stock on, but we have Dalton Felter from America First coming on, and we'll be live Thursday and Sunday. Ciao. Everyone have a good night. Everyone have a good night. I'll play some music if you just want to wave. Let's just wave to each other for a little bit. You guys want to wave? Bye.